left off, the crew was kind of winding down after a week of maintenance being performed by Gorman 1760 and its own staff, its limited staff. The staff will be finished with maintenance on the ship as of about 4 hours into tomorrow morning, and the crew is just kind of having a few beers, talking with Eileen, and with this little gunslinger kid named Luigi that Eileen had found from the other crew, which also happened to be in orbit around Sos Prime, when all of that adventure went down. They're apparently here for whatever reasons as well. And Eileen was just getting up to leave. I'll let if Mariano wants to give any kind of and right now, right
Okay.
this second. Hang on there, Mariano. Let Emma get the laundry just a second, because Emma is Cap, and she'll also want to be hearing whatever descriptions. So I guess we can.
I overhear the conversation about vampires in space.
No, you don't. That wasn't in character. Nick, do you know?
Speaking of laundry, I have to go and take care of mine in about an hour.
Okay. How long does it take you to take care of your laundry?
Well, basically, need to go down to the basement, take it out of the washer, put it in the dryer, and go back upstairs again. So, 5
Okay.
minutes.
You're European, so I didn't know if you had to like drive 10 miles or something.
Yeah, down to the river so I can beat it with rocks.
That would be washing. I was just picturing that you were drying it, so.
You just pull some peppermint plants from around the edge. You beat it while you've got the peppermint plants there, and you get a nice scented laundry. That's how it works, yeah.
Yeah, my timing was off. I should have let the vampire conversation continue on until Emma was done with her laundry. Actually, at that point, werewolf conversation.
I wonder if D&D ever bothered to make any rules for vampires and lycanthropes in Spelljammer.
There's one way to find that out.
I mean, they had mind flayers in space, but and elves and orcs.
Well, how did the mind flayers stay underground in space?
I don't think mind flayers actually have any sort of
They don't.
sunlight vulnerability or requirement of staying underground. They just seem to do.
Yeah, I know. They don't.
I don't think they actually have any reason whatsoever for doing it.
Well then, let me use this opportunity to ask if there are any particular planets or features you guys would like to see somewhere on this map. It is not entirely developed yet, which is why I haven't started faction turns yet, because holy crap, sector creation took way longer than takes me way longer than the book suggests it should take. Because I can't do what the book says and just write down one or two little words or sentences about each system or each planet.
Mm-hmm.
They're all getting one or two sentences. and then a dozen to 2 dozen more, if not more.
Where's my extra space treasure?
Do we have like a sector map?
You do. You have a map of what you guys have rudders to so far. I can shift you over to that if you'd like to see it.
Oh, so we do in Roll20.
Yes. Yeah, I did the map making in, what's it, Sectors Without Number, way before any of the features to hide things were developed. So I would have to go through and like designate everything as hidden, and it's kind of easier for me to just keep things as they are.
I think you can keep a lot of stuff that you don't want to show us in the GM's layer.
Yes, I developed my map in Sectors Without Number way before any of that stuff existed. So none of it is on by default. I would have to go in and specifically mark it all to do that.
Has the party been to all of these
No,
planets?
not yet. They've
Or heard of them?
there's information in the the handouts and their systems.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Under systems, and you can see Pana, and guess I haven't made one for March yet. That's okay, because it's one of the planets that has. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it is. Okay, my bad. I have 2 for March. I'll have to remove one of those. Just rename it. There we go. Yeah, so I've got all of the planets or the systems that the characters currently have rudders to in that category. Look how the default for a handout is mysterious note.
It's mysterious.
What's so mysterious about it? It's blank.
Well, that would be the mystery.
"75 minutes before she has to go get it." Huh. Can you hear us, Emma? Oh, okay. Will you be able to continue hearing us long enough for, or well enough for Mariano to describe his character? Okay. All right. So
I
we're
don't
back.
know. It might take me 2 hours to describe my character.
It won't. I'll make sure of that.
Mike, are you hearing Emma? I don't hear her.
Yes.
Showing it muted for me.
I see her as muted, yeah.
Because she's muted.
Yeah, she muted herself.
Yes.
Duran.
Yeah.
Duran looks like he's kind of like late 20s, early 30s, well dressed, and usually wears sunglasses. He enters the bar and looks like he's looking for someone. And he spots the entire crew, I guess, and
Nope.
kind of approaches and introduces himself. Hello, space travelers. I'm Duran. I've heard that you've parked, and we're looking for interesting and profitable endeavors to undertake.
I was gonna say, because Colleen isn't there.
Neither is Nemo.
Yeah. So it is just Dude and Cap and Eileen, right?
Dude, Cap, and Eileen, I guess.
Eileen is leaving.
Right. Eileen had gotten up to leave.
She is currently leaving.
Gotcha. And yeah, Dude had been asking around for basic work and whatnot.
And I believe Luigi is still there. Or did I narrate that someone had come and gotten him?
I don't remember that. I think Luigi is still there.
I think Luigi's still there.
Yeah, because I think we were talking about what kind of work, and he was like, "Well, I don't really know. That's my captain knows."
Mm-hmm. Okay. Respond to the walker-upper.
Ah, I see. She typed up in the general chat.
Do I have that muted? Or?
Yes, yes, you do. At least I do. So.
Oh yeah, I guess I do.
Which makes it
wow.
extra fun to type stuff there.
Yeah, God, I've had that muted for a while.
Yeah, not my problem.
Well, yeah. I never use the general much anymore.
And you specifically told us that we could mute it at one point.
I did. I said that if the pinging in other channels bothers you, then you can mute it. I didn't expect you to take that as an invitation to mute it. just carte blanche.
Well,
That's how I took it.
Well, without even knowing if it was going to annoy you.
Well, I assumed it would annoy me.
Yeah, I wasn't taking your personality into account, Mel. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay, we talk about silly stuff there anyways. And that's where I post my silly links.
I was gonna say that one of the other reasons I know I muted it.
Alright, continue. Go on.
Well, hey, Dude kind of looks up at him, and I mean, at this point, we're probably at least a couple of beers into the evening.
Oh, yeah, you guys are basically finishing out the evening.
Yeah,
Or close
not
to it.
drunk, but at least, you know, what's the phrase? Lightly toasted. Kind of looks
I
up.
have a question.
Is it in character or out of character? Okay. Let me take a look at that real quick.
Well, yeah, man, I'd been kind of asking around, but I mean, I got my captain right here.
This is the captain of the ship that's docked about, I don't know, a week now?
Cap, surprisingly enough, seems perfectly so.
Dude to say, well, yeah, you are strangely well informed for a random person who just kind of walked into the bar.
Well, I've been in this station for a bit, gotten some time to get to know the people here and see the ships come and dock. Unfortunately, I've been so busy with all this work that I haven't until now had the opportunity to make your acquaintance. And he very formally introduces himself, and then speaks to the captain of the ship. And what is the name of your ship, might I ask?
Business?
I think
cut
you
out a
broke
little
up
bit.
there, yeah.
She kind of gives him a not quite so friendly look. Says, frankly, none of this.
I did warn you, Mariano.
Very well then. Let me tell you my proposition that I have. I'm under the possession of very needed supplies, hydroponic supplies, and I would like to trade them in places that have a high demand for them, such as kind of Gyrus, for example. I don't know if you were headed there, but if you let me in, I'll cut you a fair chunk of the deal after the trade exchange has happened.
So, want to use my ship? Transport.
We're
Let's.
we're losing you again, Emma. It might be the volume thing.
I'm eating my mic, so
Yeah.
let me go to my user settings in the.
Okay. Yeah, it again seems like every time your voice drops a little bit, and I still think you could just solve this by shouting everything, but you know
But I don't want to shout everything.
that's your choice.
I'm going to change my input sensitivity so it catches that lower range. Is that any better?
So far, yeah.
So far, but you said that louder.
That is true.
Caught all that, so sounds good. Sorry for the interruption again. I didn't actually really catch what the last thing you said was.
Okay. So she looks at him and says, "So let me get this right. You want us to carry goods for you, to either Kanagiris or are there other planets? How much cargo room do you need?"
That's an excellent question, and well, I don't know how much space you have. I just know that I have, I guess, about 50,000 worth in credits of hydroponic components. They're not the bulky ones. They're just the difficult to get and expensive ones.
We'll call it about 5 tons.
We've definitely got enough room for that on our. This is DM question. We've definitely got enough room for that on our ship.
Oh yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Yeah,
And
we have
5
to fill
tons
up
is a really high estimate, allowing for extra, basically padding for the transit. That's just so that we don't, you know,
Break
go in and
stuff.
try and figure out how much it actually is, because I know that the ship has enough for that.
Kanagiris is the one that's at war, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cap looks at the guy and says, "Kanagiris isn't going to be the easiest planet to get down to."
Oh, I have a few connections that could help us get to Kanagiris. Were you planning of going there?
Not necessarily, but
Dude kind of gives him a look. So, I'm wondering, are you running on a speculation type deal, or have you got buyers lined up?
I always have buyers lined up, my friend. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Cap looks over at dude and says, "Maybe we should continue this conversation somewhere less public."
Sure.
Yeah, that probably works.
As you guys are agreeing to that and finishing up and paying your tab, Luigi kind of wanders off, and a very large, kinda Samoan-looking dude comes up to the doorway of the bar, scans in. Luigi sees him first and gives a wave, and with a very gruff and urgent look, waves him over, and then starts walking away. Luigi looks at you guys and says, "It was nice meeting you guys," and
Hey, you too, friend.
scurries out.
Dude looks over at Cap.
That wasn't suspicious.
No, not at all. I mean, personally, for my own, I don't let people deal with their own shit, but I guarantee you if either Colleen or, hell, I think even Nemo were here, they'd probably be following already.
And this is a side conversation spoken very quietly to Dude.
Oh, yeah.
She says to Dude, do you want to follow them?
Can I interject?
If
I ask the. Oh, are
no,
they?
they're
private? I'm not
talking
there.
quietly enough.
Well, we were leaning close to each other and just having a small whispered conversation. So I mean, you could interrupt the conversation, but you wouldn't know what we were saying.
Okay, without knowing what you guys were talking about, I would say, oh, that's the crew of the other ship. I always forget his name, but he's either the pilot or one of the guards from the Swift. Oh, hell, Quiloni, I think was the captain's name. Don't know what they're up to.
Yeah, that sounds about right. As dude kind of leans back over. Yeah, we were just having general conversation with them. Curious about how they did their business. Guy was bragging about having a lot of work available, but didn't seem to have himself a lot of details. Dude will look back at Cap and say, "Well, I imagine you might want to talk business with this guy. I'll catch you up later." And he gets up and heads to the front of the room.
Okay. Party is splitting. And you're welcome for that, Matt. it sounds like I have been a good influence on the whole party splitting thing.
For a given value of good.
Hey man, when I can get people splitting the party in Dungeons and Dragons, I've done a great thing to shake up role-playing. Let's hear what you're
Because rule number 1 is don't split up the party.
Yeah, and that has been so hard to break. It really has. Let's get.
Because most DMs have bad things happen.
Yeah, and I'll interrupt myself again. I think a lot of that is adhering to the idea that encounters are built for a full party, and that's just how it has to be. You have to challenge the party at every single time, and you have to have combat at every single time.
And all encounters has to be calibrated to the exact specification of the full party.
Yeah. Yep, the challenge rating. Man, I'm glad to see they ended that. Well, for myself. Alright, I'm going to stop interrupting myself. So,
Sorry.
That's okay. Let me just get a quick description of what the two separate groups are doing. Starting with Cap and Duran. What are you guys doing? Where are you going?
Cap's going. We have rooms here, right? Or are we staying on the ship while they do the maintenance?
You can have rooms here. They have 4 large barracksy types, but they also do have individual or a couple of individual or double rooms that you guys could have wanted to, rent out and live somewhere other than your quarters for a little bit.
Yeah, if Cap's allowed to stay on the ship, she's gonna stay on the ship. So, on that note, Cap will be taking Duran.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Duran.
Just
Back
like
to the
Duran. Okay.
Not Narud?
Oh my goodness, I never noticed that. It's not exactly spelled the same. But Darud, if it started with an N, is the backwards Duran.
That was the whole thing in StarCraft. We
Oh,
had first Duran, and then you ran into Narud.
oh, okay. I hadn't played StarCraft. That
But
would
yes.
be. Yeah, but Sandstorm, Duran in Sandstorm.
Jesus Christ.
All right. And Matt, what is Dude doing?
Well, hopefully he got up fast enough to look out the hallway and see where Big Dude and Little Dude were going.
Okay, so trying to follow them.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anybody else on the ship that has something they want to be doing and focus on?
Upgrading the med bay.
Okay, that's background. Unless there's a part of that you want to have a spotlight on for a minute.
Yeah, it's just general upgrades.
Okay.
Just
Nemo?
if someone wants something from her, that's where she.
Okay.
Nemo still is continuing with his observations
Okay.
on the station and potential avenues for gainful employment.
Okay. Well, let me give you some information, and then we'll see if your answer changes. Nemo intercepts a broadcast, not intended for him, of course, regarding a fast-tracked docking release for the ship the Swift to de-dock and depart. And that causes some radio chatter as administrative staff make sure that they've got all the proper authorities and paperwork and do all the bureaucratic stuff.
Because you gotta have bureaucracy.
Anything that seems unusual about that?
Yes, Nemo can pick up that they're a little bit disorganized because this isn't something that happens frequently. So, the simple fact that it is something they're unprepared for would be the unusual thing. Whether he considers that unusual enough to merit any attention or not is up to you.
Oh, he'll consider it unusual and potentially interesting enough to relay that information to Cap at least.
Excuse me.
Okay. There's not. There's nothing
So-
she can do about it right now.
Well, let's go ahead and start with Cap and Duran then.
Cat pauses for just a second, shakes her head a little bit, and then keeps going.
Okay. Cap leads Duran to where their ship is docked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mariano, the Duran has been around the station long enough that he's more or less familiar with where she's going, where the different ships are docked.
Is anybody following us?
You can certainly roll to find out. That would be Wisdom Notice.
Oh, great. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like the picture. I will have to change it into Pog shape, but it's a good picture.
where is it not? What button do I have to press for it to actually roll the skill?
First click the pencil at the top, right next to the PC. There you
Oh,
go.
I was in edit the whole time.
Yes.
There we go.
You don't see anybody following you.
Good. I like that. As she leads me into her ship, or close to it, what does the ship look like?
Like nothing you've ever seen before.
That is true. It from within the station, it's hard to see what the ship really looks like. You've only got limited windows to look out at it, and of course, getting to the ship is just your standard airlock docking mechanism. It what he can see through the airlocks, it's a large ship. It's a cruiser. It's larger than I think possibly any ship that he's had experience with so far. He may have seen other ships of cruiser size, but certainly not this close. In spite of what Emma said about it looking nothing like anything he's seen before, once you get through the docks, or the docking mechanism, it looks like the internals of a ship.
I know, I'm just. It was very tongue-in-cheek.
It's an organic-based ship, and I've never seen anything like it before.
This is not the
No,
Lex.
Oh, okay.
No, this is not-
This would be a really different game if this was the Lex.
Oh my god.
So we don't have the most
It would
powerful
be
weapon
really,
in the two
really
universes.
effed up and bizarre.
You might still, well, but it's not living.
It's also not under the control of the janitor.
Well, you guys don't have your memories.
Impressive ship that you have, Captain. Just out of curiosity, was that purple-haired lady that walked by part of your crew?
Did Colleen walk by us?
No, Eileen had dyed her hair purple.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she's oh my gosh, what position did I give Eileen?
She's your tactical, basically.
Yeah. Yes, she's my tactical officer.
Ah. Okay. Is this a suitable place for us to speak? It sounds like you were
My
interested.
office. Yes, my office is suitable.
Does this door lead you to your office? And I point to the door.
That airlock leads to the ship.
Oh, okay. I am ready when you are, Captain.
So I'll fast track this a little bit as the two are walking through the hallways. Unless there's anything said after that, I'll just assume it's in silence. Okay.
Cap's not a woman of many words for the most part.
Yes, I know that. Once inside, the ship does look unusual, but only in that it mixes a Spartan military aesthetic with, well, non-military bits and pieces. There's lighting in it that looks like it's not really. Well, let me say this a different way. It's militaristic in a different way than expected. And it's also a little bit flashier. It looks like it was not designed to look military.
Interesting ship, Captain.
You guys arrive at the office, and I'm gonna pause you right there to go see what dude's doing. Dude, you take a different, well, not a different exit from the bar, but you end up going the opposite direction that Cap and Duran are gonna have to go. You're just slightly ahead of them. And when you get to the doorway, you do see Luigi still kind of picking up the pace to catch up with his summoner.
All right. Well, he'll just kind of he'll saunter down the hallway, just trying to keep him in view at least, without trying to be too obvious. And would that be a sneak, or is it at least relatively trafficked enough that he can just sort of walk in the crowd?
Either way would be a sneak.
Yeah, about that.
And it's late by station time, so there's no traffic, and he'll have to be using Dex.
Yeah, about that.
He's got a good Dex, doesn't he?
I think that would be a no.
I know it's a no.
Also got a -1 on sneak.
That's what happens when you're not sneaky.
I mean, are all the ships in the same general? Well, no, he could always just claim to be lost.
Yeah, and
You could get to any of the ships the way that they're going, yeah.
he's also, if nothing else, he has the built-in excuse of being lightly toasted. He is he is smiling and just kind of doing the happy, I'm a little bit drunk walk.
Dude is also an expert, so don't forget that if you want to, you can try to re-roll that.
Yeah, I'm okay with 6 for now.
Okay. Dude is able to follow Luigi around the corner, without Luigi looking back and seeing, hey, there's somebody following me. As he gets closer, he overhears the large Samoan man starts talking. He's trying to talk quietly, but his voice doesn't really allow it. And the distance between him and Luigi is also not really allowing it. What dude can pick up is that Owie has received some news and is getting the ship ready to depart immediately. And what dude hears after that is, of course, a flurry of, oh my god, is she okay? What happened to her? I'll go see her and make sure she's feeling okay. And the big man just continues the rest of the way in silence. Is dude going to continue following?
If the big guy doesn't, just clams up at that point after a little bit of walking, and if he can kind of tell that the conversation at that point is over until they get to the ship, dude will take a turning off and loop his way back to back to the ship.
Okay.
I'll just sort of file that little bit of information away and
Alrighty.
Yeah, so he walks back to the whatever it is we're calling her now.
Does seem a bit confusing, doesn't it?
I'm listening to an audiobook series that had a pirate fleet called the Poet Pirates, and every ship, one of the ships is "Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair." That's the whole name of the ship.
Okay.
Like, that's okay.
Wouldn't it make more sense to just call the ship Ozymandias then?
No, the point of it is the quotation. All of the ship names are quotes from poetry and whatnot.
Eh. Alright. Dude starts heading back to the ship.
Mhm.
Cap and Duran have reached Cap's office.
Well, she gestures for him to take a seat across from her. And she sits in her chair.
And this is another kind of odd deviation from your typical warship. This looks like a business office.
Very austere business office.
I sit down and smile. Well, are you interested? What in particular would you like to go over?
How legal is this?
Selling hydroponic farms is very legal.
Yes, but are they stolen?
No, they were purchased.
By you?
Yes. I had the receipts, but I would prefer not the receipts to become public, but I show them a copy of the receipts of my purchases.
Mind if I interject some information for you real quick?
Oh, wait, no, I wouldn't mind at all.
I think I glossed over this very quickly in my
Wait, hold
description
on.
to you.
You sent me something, and I was supposed to read it very carefully.
I'm guessing you didn't. That's okay. We all do that sometimes.
Oh, no. I sorry. Just kidding. Of course I don't have the receipts for it. I got it on the black market on a sector that's very far away from here. I doubt they'll notice. I doubt they'll care. Who cares? Nobody cares.
Cap kind of leans back in her chair, opens a drawer, pulls out a gun, and starts cleaning it. You're not very good at this, are you?
No. But there is profit to be made.
That may be possible. But I'm gonna need more than half. You want me to fly my ship into a war zone to transport illegal goods down to that planet's surface. Now, I don't
The people in that planet's surface are starving without the hydroponics components that I will be providing, and they'll be buying.
She does not look happy at the interruption.
I listen.
Cap has a very, very impressive resting bitch face. Now, I don't doubt that they won't care that they're stolen, and I'm fine with that. But it's going to cost you more than 50%.
All right, we'll settle at 60.
I want at least 6. That's fine. You're asking me to put my crew in a considerable amount of danger. Do you have a buyer?
Yes. I'll have a buyer when I get there.
Do you have a buyer now?
Well, I don't have contact with them. Obviously, I can't communicate in a war-torn country right now, and I can't access him through the normal radio channels.
So
It
you
won't
don't
take
really
longer than a week.
I can get you to the planet. I can hold on to your goods. You go down, get a buyer, and then I'll take my ship down.
Wait, you can. Are you implying that this ship can land on planets?
I'm not implying anything. I'm telling you that my ship can go down to the planet.
Very well then. I think that's reasonable. You take me close to the planet's surface where I can communicate with the people there. If I don't come up with someone within a week, you can drop me off wherever you get to next, and I'll pay you for your travels, a minimum of 5,000 credits.
Mike, DM time. Is that is 5,000 credits worth my time?
Yeah,
Probably
this doesn't
not.
even cover the operating cost.
Yeah, no. She says make it 50,000.
30,000,
50,000.
40,000.
There are operating costs I have to cover.
How can 3 tons of cargo cost you 50,000 credits?
It's also the fuel getting to and from the planet.
Well,
Plus the use of my shuttle to get you down close to the surface.
I think shuttle costs are a lot lower than that, to be realistic.
Let me pause for just a second because I think I may be reasonable in assuming that after having seen operating costs, maintenance costs, and all of that based on your ship, Colleen may have actually done the math to figure out how much it costs per day. Am I wrong?
She would have.
Okay. Would she have relayed this to the captain?
If the captain asked, sure. Otherwise, so far every trade deal Colleen was doing.
This is true.
Colleen is normally the numbers girl.
And at that,
I mean, how much crew do you have? If each one makes 200 credits a day average, or that's their operating cost, and you have 5 of them for 7 days, that's 7,000 credits. Where is the 50,000 coming in? Fuel would be about 500 credits, and then on top of that, the shuttle cost would cost about, let's say it's an expensive one, 2,000. So now we're close to almost 10,000 credits.
She puts her finger up and hits a button. Hey kiddo, you free?
Sure.
Can you come to my office, please?
Sure.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah, Colleen would put her stuff down. Is probably handing something very, very expensive, and then makes her way to that office.
Nick, do you need another number or do you already know it?
No, I would need a number.
Okay.
I haven't run the number as a player. I know Colleen would have run all those numbers, but unlike Colleen, I don't like numbers all that much.
Says
thank
And he
Microeconomics
just got
for
done
that.
taking macroeconomics.
Yeah, I was gonna say the exact same thing. Says the man who's taking
Micro.
macroeconomics. Finish
Micro.
it, huh?
Micro.
Didn't want to take
yeah,
micro.
it's always
Okay.
yeah, it's microeconomics. That doesn't mean
Still
you
in
like
the I
math.
might not have to.
Still numbers.
So yes, I can run the math as the player, I just don't want to.
No problem. I'll send it to you. You can cut off the decimal points.
What I figured.
Yeah,
I mean, I
obviously
could make
she
a
can't get
spreadsheet on
that
how
exact.
much we're losing by not filling our cargo space. That is the big issue.
Yeah.
can think
Yeah.
back
Obviously, she can't get that exact because she's extrapolating a lot of things, and the ship doesn't exactly say how much it takes. You learn
I
that.
should write a program for that. So she would cut it off for convenience, but she has the decimal point somewhere.
No, even she can't actually get a number that's exact because that's a game extrapolation. the actual price you're paying, the actual cost, will vary based on what maintenance stuff needs to be done.
Okay.
Oh, are you talking about the ship maintenance?
Essentially, yeah.
Oh.
But yes, a short time later, Colleen would scamper to the office.
All right. I realize that we've been a little bit remiss. In that Mariano has only had visual pogs to kind of go from on character descriptions. So, Emma, would you mind giving a quick visual on Cap?
Sure. Cap is actually pretty short. She's only 5'4". But she's got kind of got the body of an athlete. She's obviously got some physical training. She is dressed pretty much all in black or dark colors, like burgundy under the black. She has long dark hair, dark brown eyes, and what we like to affectionately refer to as resting bitch face. She doesn't smile a lot, and it kind of looks like she's always slightly in a bad mood.
All right.
And Colleen, as she scampers into the office.
Give me 1 second. Damn it, I swear that somewhere. Sorry, not on my computer. I don't have all my relevant files. But she's a young girl. For her, looks kind of weird. It's green. It has 2 luminescent strands woven through it. And she has sprockets woven in her hair, one on each side. But yeah, she's kind of short, a bit wiry, and seems to be a little bit on the side of hyperactive, seeing how nobody was around for a week to regulate her caffeine intake. And she's been working, so. Yeah, and she wears a fairly loose clothing at the moment. Looks far more work-related than anything else, but rather comfy. And as always, she holds a data pad in her hand.
Okay. Resume scene.
I sit quietly, understanding that this is something that needs to happen.
Colleen, this is Duran.
How do you do? Pleased to meet you.
He
Hi.
he has some work for us, potentially.
I'm just gonna go take care of that laundry now.
Okay.
Alright.
Can you give us an idea of what the operating costs would be to get from here to Canagiris with a load of, what you said, 3 tons?
I believe so, yes.
I thought it was 5 tons.
I thought you
at
said
tops.
5 originally, yeah.
Tops.
Oh.
The high end was 5 tons.
5,
Yeah, I estimated high.
5 tons.
Okay.
Let's round that up to 5 tons. We only round to the nearest multiple of 5 tons here.
Well, what's the cargo? Because 5 tons is nothing, and that means we have a lot of empty space.
Black market hydroponics components.
Oh, peanuts.
No, the specialized, apparently the specialized ones that are worth a lot more money.
Well, that better be a lot of money. Give me a second. She types on a little data pad. It's gonna market various things like that.
Captain, while she calculates, may I add something?
Done.
Oh, that was fast.
about 16,000 per day.
And how long does it take for us to get from one piece of space planet to the other two?
How far? How many
It's
squares
Canagarus.
are we away, Mike?
It'll be just one region swap, region transition.
Aren't those
So
48 hours?
yeah, 48 hours. Spike drive 2, so 24 hours. You could push it and get there in 16, but that also risks it taking 96.
Yeah.
Also not factoring in the emission dampeners if we run them.
Right.
Which, if we're doing something illegal,
So yeah,
We
the
never
emissions
do that.
dampers will also double that transition
Okay,
time.
it's either, well, 2 days or 4 days. Depending on how fast we want to go there.
no, it depends on how quietly we want to go there.
Colleen just indicates her head towards the visitor and doesn't need to know that stuff.
Would 3 days seem like a reasonable amount of time?
Nope.
Let me ask: was that a question from the player or the character?
The character.
Okay.
No, really, that's kind of our only option. You have 2 days or 4 days. My recommendation to you would be to take the 4.
If we take the 4, it might be, I don't know how many credits you're operating with, but if you could get more aquaponics, maybe you could make a bigger profit for yourself as well. I didn't realize that your ship had such high operating costs, which now that I look at how impressive your ship
Huge.
is,
It's
I
massive.
guess. Let me ask this other question. What was your option? What was your other option if this job didn't come about?
We find work elsewhere.
Have you found any work yet?
It's none of your business.
Well, I could help find you jobs in Gyrus if we go there. They could prove to be even more profitable than this one.
Getting involved in someone's war is not particularly my cup of tea.
Ah, I see.
Also, ships don't operate on maybes.
Well, it sounds like you don't have another option, so let's go there in 2 days. And I'll give you 48,000 credits.
Colleen, or Cap looks at Colleen.
We'll cover the cost.
Alright.
Great. Do you need a down payment first of 15,000? Would that work?
How,
And after the trade deal has happened, I'll get you the rest?
Preferably half is generally what is expected.
generally, it's half up front and half on the rest on arrival.
Well, unfortunately, I only have 50,000 credits worth of hydrochronic components and 20,000 credits worth of liquid capital with me at this time.
20 is roughly half. It's close enough.
I'm really disappointed to see all of my life savings go away in a down payment, but I give it to her.
Alright.
Back again?
Welcome back, Mel.
I do have to run again in 7 minutes, though. I had miscalculated how long the washer would run.
Okay.
Reminds me, what time did I put my laundry in?
It's been an hour, so I think
11:17.
we got like another 30
Yeah, about 30
minutes.
minutes. Darn adulting. And
Yeah.
I know somebody else was down there doing laundry too, so I mean we only have 2 dryers.
Yours actually is public then.
Yes, mine is actually public and they suck.
Yeah. Well.
So mine.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm on the 3rd floor and mine are in the basement.
Jesus, people.
Yep. Same here, except I'm on the second. Except I'm not on, except I'm only on the 2nd floor.
So do you have your cargo here, or do we need to take you somewhere to pick it up?
It's in a cargo hold, not too far.
It's
Is
on
it
this
on-
station, yeah. Jorin.
It's in the station.
All right, make your arrangements to have it brought here, and we'll load it onto the ship.
Perfect. Can I get maybe 1 or 2 of your crew to help me with the bulk of the thing?
The
I believe
transfer.
the going rate is 2,000 credits per
Yes.
man hour.
I'm sorry, what? I didn't catch
Yeah,
you.
Cap will just hold up her hand and just say, "What we've got for now is fine." So it's 60% plus the other half of the remaining portion of the transfer fee.
My understanding was 48,000 minimum, or 60,000, whichever is greatest.
Nothing like that was ever said.
Well, we started
So
negotiating the
60
minimum price at 5,000, and then you said 50,000. We tried to negotiate it down, and we got to 48,000 because it's 16,000 a day, right?
Yes, plus the 60% of the profits from selling the goods.
Oh, I was thinking of a conditional statement.
If you think that I'm going to do this entire job for 48,000, I'll give you your 20,000 back, and you can find someone else.
Can I please have people to come pick up my hydroponics from my locker? Just 1 or 2 will do. I'll bring them over in.
I don't think you're
15
understanding what
minutes.
I'm saying.
Oh, don't
For
worry
the
about the
job,
money.
the entire
You'll get
job.
your 48,000 plus 60%. That's.
All right.
I don't
We're
think I
good.
can negotiate it, but I do need 1 or 2 people to help me carry the hydroponics over to your ship.
We have a cargo hauler that we can use to bring things over, yes.
Thank you. It was a pleasure doing business, and look forward to this great and exciting adventure. We're gonna be rich. And then I leave.
I don't think we're gonna get rich.
No, but at least we might get something.
Are you letting him leave unescorted?
Nope.
Do you want Cap to have called Eileen over as
Yes.
outside security? Okay. We'll just
Yes.
say that Eileen is outside the door. So as long as Cap opens it, that of course would signal that he can leave.
Yes, she'll open it. She'll hit the button and open it for him.
Okay. Duran sees the purple-haired lady standing outside the door.
Hello there, I'm Duran. Pleasure to meet you, and I shake her hand.
She does not offer her hand.
I put my hand back in my pocket.
She looks over to Cap. Questioningly.
Escort him back to take him to Tom. Ask Tom to get the cargo. We have something to haul cargo, right? I'm not.
Yeah, you guys have an ATV on the ship.
Okay.
And
So-
it's huge, as I recall.
It is huge, so that's probably
Fairly
not.
large.
Yeah, that was probably not the best example, but yeah, you guys had to have had one of those like just a mobile loading platform. Even if it's one of those ones with tiny wheels, it only moves so fast as a person can walk. That's still sufficient for moving stuff.
If we didn't have one, dude at some point would have fucking made one.
Yeah, there you go. You guys have something.
Okay. Have Tom and one of the others. God. Who we got? We got Tom. Oh, not Clark.
No, not
No,
Clark.
not Clark.
As a DM, unless you have other need for him, might I suggest Dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we've got the husband and wife too, don't we?
Yeah, we got cheap labor. We also got an old man and another
a
kid.
Yeah, kid,
Nobody on the
yeah.
ship is married.
We just rescued them together. They weren't
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Shishin and
Oh yeah, you,
Whatever.
Might not be
Everything
married,
is-
but we're shipping it.
yeah, you guys definitely have enough hands that can help. So
But yeah, we'll have Dude do it.
that was mostly just for continued player interaction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Suggestion. Okay.
Well, Doodle would he could have easily he probably would have made his way back to the ship. It wasn't really that long spent following them to whatnot.
Dude has made his way back to the ship. Okay.
He probably would tinker with his guitar contraption a little bit before hitting the sack. He finds that a light buzz gives him creative inspiration for the things he's doing to it.
Well, while he's tinkering, he gets a message from Eileen to meet her at well, I guess just at the airlock.
Doodle put his couple of tools away and whatnot, but
Well, at the docking airlock. We'll say that a cargo docking airlock was used because you had people doing maintenance and they needed to occasionally bring things in, equipment for testing and such. So they needed larger than human size access. Tom gets the same message. Duran is escorted by Eileen. Despite the purple hair, she's kind of stoic and not all that communicative. She escorts Duran to the cargo airlock, or a cargo airlock. Same one you came into. And you see a old man with a gruff, gritty voice. Looks fit enough for the task, as long as nobody's asking him to lift massive weights. He gives Duran a critical once over.
I'm here to pick up the contents of this cargo hold.
Alright. Well. Are we waiting on anybody else? He looks at Eileen and she says, dude is coming. Tom reaches forward with his hand, says, well, I'm Tom.
What does Tom look like?
Angry.
Okay, was Tom the one that looked like Willem Dafoe?
He is.
I shake his hand.
Yeah.
There, you finally got a handshake from someone.
It's a great pleasure to meet you, Tom. Have you been introduced to Eileen? Eileen, this is Tom. Tom, this is Eileen. And I just watch to see if Tom tries to handshake her.
He looks more critically at Duran, glances over at Eileen, and then back over at Duran.
And I'm like smiling, like, nah, don't worry about it. It's fine.
That's cute.
You're welcome.
Now I want a pair of those.
Sorry.
Yeah. Dude?
He would have made his way to where they were supposed to meet.
Okay. You see Tom, Eileen, and Duran standing there waiting. You guys are still inside the ship. You're not at the cargo bay yet. You'll have to travel through the station, and of course Duran will have to unlock it, and then you guys can move it.
All right. So we've got our little freight loader.
Mm-hmm. And dude brings that in tow with him.
Yeah. Gives Duran a look. Well, I guess you talked her into it.
I'm not sure she's into it. But I think it's gonna be great. I think all of us are gonna think back and say, man, it was such a great thing that Duran came by with his amazing business proposition, because now we're so covered with so much cash that we don't even care that it was a sketchy operation.
Uh-huh.
Tom and Eileen share a glance and a smirk.
No, this is
Go ahead, Matt.
This is a good outcome, kid. I tell you, if she didn't want to do it, or if she thought that it was something that wasn't going to work out, well, she just said no.
It sounds like you've known Captain for a while now. You've done a lot of missions with her in the ship.
You could say that.
I assume like this is on our way there, right? Like we're just talking.
We're
it's like
walking and
driving.
talking. Yeah. I
Okay,
assume
yeah.
so.
Yeah, you guys can start. You're on your way there.
Well, we're almost here, I think. Are we there yet?
Do you want to be there right now?
I don't know. I'm lost.
I was gonna say, I imagine we
Dude.
can walk and talk as long as we want until we decide that we're there.
At some point, I will interrupt you and say you're there, but if you want to just continue the rest of the way in silence, then I'll say it right now.
Dude, we have to take a
just
left
gonna go
here.
You were at London for real now.
So have you been on a lot of missions prior with her?
Like I said, you could say that.
Right. What's like how would you describe your ship if I'm gonna be with you for a few days? I might as well get along with everyone. Looks like Eileen doesn't like to talk from what I can tell, right, Eileen?
I'd like to do my job.
Yeah, what I'd say is that the general vibe of the ship is Do your own thing. Don't mess with anybody else's thing, and you'll be fine.
All right. Seems fair enough.
You guys have arrived. See, it works like that. Yeah, just
before-
as a general point for you as a new player, Mariano, nobody would have expected you to know this, so it's not like I'm saying bad Mariano. Yeah, when there's conversation en route to a thing, I will generally interrupt at some point to say, what's happened, you've arrived, or something interrupts you.
Oh, okay.
If the players all tell me that they walk in silence or they don't exchange any meaningful conversation or RP, then yeah, we can always just jump to it. But when there's a good RP conversation going on, I'm inclined to let it go long as I think it's reasonable for them to still be traveling.
Gotcha. So whoever, I don't know, is there like a security pad or a name pad or like a...
It is. It's
front
kind of like
desk?
one of those Amazon locker type deals, except for massive cargo bays.
I look over my notes and I say, 1 second, please. Hold on. And I look through my notes.
And just for flavor, we'll say that once Duran accesses it to retrieve the cargo, he has 24 hours before it is before the code he's using to access it no longer functions.
I use the code.
Okay.
It's I type in GID. I don't know. I think that was what the code was.
Oh no, that's just a genetic ID.
Oh, I use the genetic ID and open it.
Okay. The cargo door opens, and inside, dude sees several crates in various conditions. Some look like they've been sitting in a warehouse for a while. Others are a little bit more presentable. They the condition of the crates lends to Duran's description that it came from a black market. It definitely looks like that's where these could have come from. They didn't come off a manufacturer floor. And it's around 5 tons, but it's not a bulky 5 tons.
My character actually wouldn't help carry any of the crates. He would just be like, "All right, well, here's the crates. They aren't gonna move themselves."
Well, while nobody would expect the crates be carried,
Okay, Cam.
okay, welcome back again. That's part of what you have the cargo loader for.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tom and Eileen just. Tom frowns a bit, but Eileen starts in and towards nearest crate and beckons for the hauler to come with her.
Oh yeah. And Doodle absolutely pitch in.
Not to be a jerk, I'm gonna pick up some of the lighter crates and pretend to help.
Does Duran have any experience with manual labor? Does he have
No. No.
Eileen, after Duran has put a crate on the loader, comes over, removes it, and tells him, "Just let us do this."
It's all you. You got this. You're amazing at this. And I give her a thumbs up, and I just move to the side.
You'll have to make a couple of trips, but when the loader is loaded properly, which is what Eileen corrected,
Yeah.
the crate that Duran put on does go on, but it goes on at a higher point. You guys get it strapped down, and Eileen, just as you guys are pulling the hauler out, she grabs a box and just carries it with her.
A fraction of a trip less.
Yep. It might make a difference. Unlikely, but it might.
You never know. Better to carry more at once than not.
And unless there is meaningful conversation on the back and forth for loading this cargo a couple times, then I can just fast forward that.
Well, after at least the first trip and into the second, when dude has definitely noticed that not only does it look like Duran would be physically incapable of packing this stuff up, but that doesn't seem to have a real knowledge of cargo organization and whatnot. Will, as he's shifting some things around, kind of look at Duran. So, pretty obvious you didn't load this this stuff into this cargo area yourself. How the hell did you get this stuff in here?
I had another from the black market to here. I was in another crew that did similar work.
How the hell did you convince them to load this all up and then leave you behind? And not
They had some unusual things that came up. They didn't give much details, and they had to leave.
And they didn't just decide to space you and keep this stuff?
Oh, that's right. You were talking with Luigi at the bar.
For a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the crew members.
So that's the ship that brought you?
Yes.
And then, okay.
And
I gotta ask.
Matt did see the size of the guy that beckoned Luigi. He probably could have just carried the entire cargo bay himself. Exaggeration, but he was big.
Yeah, he was a big guy. I gotta ask, well, why the hell aren't they doing this part of the job for you? What prompted you to part company with them?
Oh, I would have preferred that not happen, but they had some unusual circumstance. I don't know why they left. They had to leave very early, and they just told me that they're gonna leave my stuff here in this cargo bay.
All right. And Doodle go back to putting boxes on cart and whatnot.
Why? Did you talk to Luigi about anything of interest?
Oh no.
Yeah, he's not a very interesting person.
No, he seemed nice enough, but nah, we just talked about regular stuff.
You hear you hear a grunt from Tom and a clap on Duran's shoulder.
Yes?
This box right here. Get that one right there.
I
Points at a box that he wants Duran to pick up and points at where he wants him to put it on the loader.
excuse me? What's wrong with the box?
Lift it up. Put it on the platform.
Sure, come over here, help me lift it.
You got this. And he
And I
towards
say
the
again, come help me pick up this box.
Yeah.
We'll be faster this way and more efficient.
Straightens. He was leaning over to pick up his box. He straightens up, looks over. You got some kind of muscle wasting disease?
No.
Are you?
Do I look sickly to you?
Are you 70 years old?
No, I'm not. Do I look like a venerable
Then
gentleman
you got
to
this.
you? I'm surprised that my lead of 8 did not convince him to help me carry this box with him.
It did not.
Okay.
I also did not know that that's what you were rolling lead for, but it did not.
I guess I'd pick up the box. Can I pick up the box?
Yeah, it's heavy for Duran's strength, but he can manage it. Tom looks over, says, "Straighten your back. Lift with your knees."
I put the box in the cargo hold, the thingy, the transport thing.
Good. He picks up his box and puts it on top. Now you can say you helped
I did help.
instead of gabbing the entire time.
I got the first and second to last box. I don't think the second to last box was worth it. But I'm glad we're all on the same page now.
Tom's done. He's moving on to another box.
How old does Tom look?
He's older than you. William Defoe, and not a young William Defoe.
No. He looks like he's around 50 to 60.
To be fair, Willem Dafoe looked old when he was young Willem Dafoe.
He did.
Well, yes, but now he looks like extra old William Defoe.
He was made of leather in his 20s. He's just made of harder leather now.
Don't we
He
have
was captain enough in platoon.
pictures in the image dump?
He's 63 now, and he looks 80.
Yeah, actually
I think the character portrait is like in. Yes. Character portrait is in the image dump. I can recopy.
Okay.
When was Platoon?
86.
80s? Yeah.
86. So he was 31 in Platoon.
There you go, in the image dump channel.
His face looks really old, but his shoulders don't look like 80 yet.
Yeah, and this is the one from 86 for comparison.
Oh, that's really different.
Yeah, but he still looked older.
Old. Yeah.
He did. He's he looks like age has taken away some of his physique, but he's still on par with Duran.
Oh right, I sit on the, or walk back, I guess.
Yep, there it is, right big on the screen. I don't know if I placed that by accident, but there you go.
Yes.
Over to the
The
planet.
final boss has appeared.
It was not me.
No moon.
Alright.
Let's see.
Alright, you guys finish loading up. Eileen does carry another box. Turns out the loads weren't exactly fitted onto the hauler that she needed to, but it has made each of the hulls that much lighter.
Alright, and I will be back shortly.
Okay. You guys get this packed up and strapped into the ship's cargo bay. And now actually seems like a good time to take a short break, unless there is anything from anybody that's not cap or doesn't require cap. Nope. All right. Let's take a short 10-minute break. Let Emma finish up her laundry. Let Mel finish up his laundry.
I did.
Oh, you did that. Okay.
Well,
And I realized that I couldn't
rather-
have asked you
Or
to
rather,
wait.
my laundry's in the dryer now.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I realized that it wouldn't have mattered because with those public dryers, you don't wait 5 minutes to sync up your laundry cycles because it's a public dryer or washer. I don't know how
Yes,
much you trust those, but I never did.
And there's not there aren't that many people living here. It's more of an issue of I need to get it done because I can't run the dryer when it gets late
Huh.
Hmm.
Why is that?
because it makes noise and the people living above it is and the people
Oh,
living above it would
you-
appreciate it
what?
not making noise.
You have this thing called courtesy in Denmark?
Yes.
Yeah,
Damn!
it's a very personal problem of theirs.
Why can't I get any of that here in America?
So try not to run the dryer after 8.
No, that's fair. The reason that I've always tried to find an apartment that has the washer dryer in the apartment is because when I thought, no, I can just walk 50 feet. 50 is... What would you say it was from our last apartment, Matt? About 50 feet.
To the public ones?
Yeah.
Uh,
It was a hallway away. I initially thought I could just make that trip and just kind of left my clothes in the washer for an hour or two, and then the dryer for a couple hours. I'm not good at remembering to go get it.
mhm.
Oh man, in college I sometimes left it overnight, and then everybody would be like, "Mariano."
Yeah, that would piss some people off, wouldn't it?
It would have a
I was like,
tendency to do
"Oops."
that.
Well, I finished that essay I needed to finish. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some food.
All right. I have beef jerky I could get to. Oh, I'll just wait. Yeah, while we're waiting, anybody got anything exciting happening or that has happened to yourself or in the universe?
That's really like broad.
It is. Basically,
Anything exciting in the universe.
it's basically just somebody say something. Somebody say something interesting.
Sorry, the universe isn't very interesting today.
Hmm.
In the upcoming weeks where a lot of people are going to be taking a lot of vacations, anybody have anything interesting planned?
Well, I don't get those vacations because I'm starting a new job.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it's not technically a new job. It's the same job I've
It's the same
been
job, a
doing
new place.
in a new place. Yes.
You got transferred to a new location or like
Well, I applied in a different city. Different county, I should say. So, it's not really a transfer. I have officially quit my county, but I'm going to be doing the same government job in a different county.
hmm.
It would be nice if we were all just connected that way, but nope.
That we all worked in the same county?
Well, no, that like if let's take welfare agencies. That's not actually where I work, but take welfare agencies for instance. If all the welfare agencies in the different counties in California were connected such that it's not leaving a job, it's not quitting to move or to change to a different county. It's just relocating. It's just transferring to a different location with the same job.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, a lot of like the transportation agencies in all of the states here in the US are like the whole state.
I don't think that applies to California.
Well, for Caltrans in California, they've got different districts,
Well, those were actually
but
state
they're in charge of all the
departments,
highways.
though. Those were actually state jobs.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right in that regard. The state jobs like CHP and well, Department of Transportation. Actually, that one might be the federal. I'm not sure, but like Caltrans specifically. Yeah, you're definitely there. It just from my limited experience, it feels like the government jobs. If you're in a county job or a city job,
Yeah. Because they're like their own agencies.
yeah.
They like to have like their own control. Sometimes what those agencies will do though is they'll contract out work to a larger company that does like, oh, we have extra employees. Do you need them? It's like, yes, we need these kind of employees.
Huh. You're saying
think,
that
like-
the county will contract out their employees?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Private
okay.
companies.
Will contract out their employees to the county or the city job.
Yeah.
Okay.
It happened a lot right after the recession and during the recession or the economic downturn from like 2010,
Mm-hmm.
where a lot of the agencies tried to get as lean as possible.
Yep, that certainly
then-
happened with mine.
Every now and then they're like, oh, a big project is going to happen. We need like an extra plan checker and more inspectors. So then they would go and do like, okay, let's make a contract because it's going to be a lot easier than going through the 6-month process of hiring a new staff.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense.
Only to get the project done with and have to let them go.
Yeah, it's a lot easier for them to make a contract than to go through HR, finance, and then like the city manager to get the budgeting for a new staff person.
Yeah, we had agency temps before I started at my job. They used agency temps from like Apple One and those kinds of agencies. And that's actually how I got my start when I moved up to the San Francisco Bay Area to move in with some friends. Was I went to Apple One and picked up temp jobs, and I think all but one of them for an entire year were in government, county, or city type jobs.
Yeah, because if you're private, you just hire a new person. Like, I need a new person.
Yeah, pretty much.
Actually, so one of the things that we're doing, and I work for a private company, is we can't get additional permanent headcount right now, but they're aware that we need help. It's like, well, we're not gonna get you more people, but we'll get you temps.
Right, and actually that does remind me that one of my coworkers moved to Dow. She had worked there years before, and they practically begged her to come back after she worked with my department for, I think she was 8 years? It was 5 to 8 years. And she kept trying to get me to get a job there, but all of their positions are being filled by Kelly temps.
Yep, I worked for Kelly Scientific.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's great, and I'm sure I would love it, but A, I can't take the pay cut now, even if it has better prospects in the future, and B, temping has very little in the way of safety net for me. Which, if I can't take a pay cut, then I can't go without a safety net, because I've got no buffer. So I couldn't get into Dow, which is just being more and more profitable for her. But going to where I'm going now is going to be a good change.
Well, that's good.
It's
like, you know, you guys have been with me through a couple of job changes now.
We have.
And my dissatisfaction of late with my current job, which is getting better.
Oh, that's good.
I have a new supervisor.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That helps sometimes.
Yep,
Yeah.
my old one quit.
Oh, problem resolved itself.
Well, part of the problem.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, they're letting us get temps, and we're gonna get those temps and train those temps. But it's like, when it takes, I mean, like, I've been in my current position for a little over a year now, and I'm not even fully trained. There have been people who have been in the job for 2.5 years and are not fully trained.
Yeah, but with temps like that, what I would expect is that you only train them for the very, very isolated, specific thing you need them to do right then. You spend, an hour training them to not specific time frames, but you spend an hour training them to do this thing so that they can do it for 6 hours.
Yeah, unfortunately, in our world, that's what we are going to do with the ones that we've got. Is fortunately they have at least some. They've worked in food or some other kind of laboratory situation, so they have some basics. And we can take those and kind of put them on the things that they're familiar with.
Yeah, well, that works too. Let's push back to the game here now that everyone is back. I don't know if it's been 10 minutes. It looks like it's been 10 minutes. We'll call it 10 minutes. Everything is loaded and strapped into the cargo bay. there certainly is a lot more space you could fill. I believe you have 400 tons of available space.
Something like that.
Some of which you're using for scrap. Actually, probably quite a lot of it which you're using for scrap right now.
Is there anything of interest in the station that one could purchase? Because if there isn't, I don't think Duran would be like interested in spending any more time thinking about where to fill up empty space, cargo bay.
There really kind of isn't. Gorman 1760 is not really designed for large-scale trading. It doesn't have the staff for managing any kind of market. It's a lot more for get gas here, get maintenance here, and get delicious grits here.
Cool. I would probably go to the kitchen or something and start having like some sort of mixed drink.
On the ship or on the station?
On the ship.
Okay.
He has an escort with him the entire time.
I assumed that was Eileen.
Yeah.
Oh, Eileen is not gonna like me.
That may turn out to be true.
Just
Because
give me
there are
24
definitely
hours.
areas of this ship that you are not allowed to go.
Yep. Alright, well, are you guys doing anything before heading on over to Canagiris?
Check your Discord, Mike.
Oh, I can do that.
Ooh, I know. I need to send a message to Colleen. But I don't have private cap, Colleen.
You could just scream it to the other room.
Well, no, Mike needs to be a party to this.
Mike doesn't need to know anything.
I need to know everything.
Mike
Yes.
needs to know everything.
Everything.
Hang on, I'll throw something out there for you.
We should make a character thoughts tab so that he can see what we're thinking at all times.
I'm not a fan of that. I prefer that kind of stuff to come out in RP.
Okay, that was a joke.
I didn't want it to be a joke.
Okay, I'll be very serious about expressing my thoughts when they're appropriate in RP.
Alright. There you guys go.
Besides, the things only Mike gets to see after things have happened.
People do, however, use the in-game chat for that exact kind of thing, and you know it's fine, but just not as an entire channel of thought stream.
And yes, she senses the mode.
We have a quick silence break here while Colleen gives me a. Let's make this an int no.
On the second thing or the first thing? What Cap asked or what Colleen was planning to do?
Gotcha, that was for someone else. In the meantime, Duran.
Yes.
In the kitchen with Eileen.
Eileen, would you like to drink anything?
Nope.
Have you ever been to Sauce? Where are you from?
I worked in sauce for years.
Ah. Very interesting. You don't like to talk much. You just like to do your job. Is that your thing?
Yeah, I tend to. I take my job seriously here.
I respect that. Every organization needs somebody that takes things seriously. What brings you here with this group of people?
The kid asked me to come on board.
The kid? Colleen?
Yeah, purple hair, sprockets.
Green hair. The backpack has purple.
Yeah. Eileen still said purple.
I didn't know you had a soft spot for kids.
I didn't say I did.
I think you did. But I was just assuming.
Well, she's a good kid.
Do you have any kids?
Are you done eating?
No, I'm gonna continue eating for a few hours. Why do you ask?
Okay. She does not answer.
Okay. She definitely has a kid. Like, okay. Do you know what dude is up to?
I don't. Do you need to speak with him?
No. Never mind. I'm just gonna keep eating.
Okay.
We can talk later, I guess.
Shortly after that, Colleen comes to the kitchen.
Station, not ship.
Oh, never mind.
Cap will go to the kitchen and get something to eat.
The space station kitchen or the ship kitchen?
The ship kitchen.
Okay. Shortly after that, Cap
Can't
arrives.
carry out grits.
Grits to go.
Grits to go. She needs to heat them back up.
You go, Grits.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I like grits. Grits are good. Cheesy
re-
grits especially.
Remember, no self-respecting Southerner would ever use instant grits.
I think I remember that commercial. Anyway. Yep, Cap will go to the kitchen.
Alright. Sees Duran and Eileen still there.
Eileen, you want to go take a break?
That's not necessary.
She kind of gives the other woman a look of like, are you like? I don't know. Women know how to communicate with each other with certain expressions and looks and.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but apparently Eileen does.
Non-verbal communication.
Okay.
So
and Cap kind of gives her the. Are you sure you don't want a break look?
she adds to that. Let's check my weapon. So yeah, I'll be at the armory.
Cap will nod. See you in a little while then.
Yeah, let me know if you need anything.
Will do.
I take it you'll be joining me for some grub?
I have my leftovers, yeah.
Sounds great.
Have you ever done this before?
What?
Transporting illicit goods?
Not by ship. In space. At very high speeds.
I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but you really don't seem like you know what you're doing at all.
Well, that's why the captain is the most experienced person in the ship.
And we all have our areas of expertise.
Yes. Seems like you have yourself quite a competent and serious military officer slash bodyguard slash henchkeeper on board.
All of my crew are very competent in their own ways.
How?
They're also very private people.
I'll try to keep to myself then.
You don't have to keep to yourself. Just you ask very personal questions, my friend. And in this line of work, it'll get you killed.
Understood.
Not everybody is understanding and tolerant of being asked. You're not there, peanut gallery man. Unless Nemo comes into the kitchen.
Nope.
I mean, did you do the same thing with the last crew that you were with?
Oh no, they definitely didn't talk to me at all. I'm surprised you guys are talking this much already.
We try to be polite and friendly, but we'd like you to do the same thing. Don't ask personal questions. If someone feels like talking to you about their personal lives, that's their business. Just don't ask.
I was just trying to get a gauge of how good liars you were.
Better than you, my friend.
Very well then. I think this conversation is over.
All right. Cap will call Nemo.
Captain?
She'll meet him in the hallway outside of the ship cafe, ship mess. Keep an eye on him.
The grub table.
Yeah.
Of
Keep
course.
an eye on him.
Anything in particular I should be looking out for?
All of his body language.
Will do.
I don't trust him further than I can spit. And don't give away what you are.
You guys
He's
are
gonna try.
talking.
We're out of
Okay.
away, like where he can't hear.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, where he can't hear.
Understood.
Yeah. Don't give up any personal information about the crew.
Is there a particular reason you're not trusting him?
The fact that he basically came in and trumpeted that we were going to be carrying illegal black market goods for him, for one. A real professional would have found a way to, to not make it so obvious. I don't know. I just got a feeling.
To insinuate his intent better?
Yes. He may be harmless, but he also may be clueless, which is just as dangerous.
And if he proves to be neither harmless nor clueless?
And we take care of it later.
Understood.
We're the best people.
We are.
Think rather we're not the worst people.
We're not the worst people.
No, we're not.
That's the thing. We're really not the worst people.
Just saying something.
In the sense
would be a great slogan.
in the sense that we could be worse people,
Yes.
We could.
We could always be worse.
Mm-hmm.
which makes us not the worst, logically speaking.
All we got to do is get the main cannon up and going, and then we can start blowing up planets and robbing them.
And then we can, and then we really can be the Lex.
Which I believe you guys have everything you need to get those cannons up, or get one of those cannons up.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got what we need to get one of the minor cannons up. I'm talking about getting the main cannon up.
Are you guys holding out for the main cannon?
Oh Jesus!
No.
Blowing up planets for the fun of it.
We have no idea what the hell this is, cannon.
We know it's a cannon, but we don't know what kind of cannon. Except we know what it's called.
It has a name. It's an evil name.
It is an evil name. In my opinion. Alright, so Cap will leave Duran to Nemo.
What's evil about metaspatial hypercharge cannon?
You really need to ask.
No,
I was gonna
I
say
don't.
he said knowing the answer.
Yes. The whole metaspatial thing? Oh my god, I just had an idea. The contraption, what if that's part of the cannon?
Oh Jesus Christ.
Okay, yeah,
It-
we're
it-
evil.
Yeah, it pulls its charge from metaspace, sucks all the energy out of it, and then pumps it into that cannon and does something fucking crazy with it.
Yep. That's kind of where my head went.
Yeesh.
I'm getting a drink of water.
Here we are driving
Sorry.
the Lex.
Who's Stanley?
My favorite part of that is that he's the only one you ever encounter in that show, at least as far as we've watched, that has a standard Earth normal name.
Yep.
Everyone else is, Flargnoth of something or other or something like that, and then you just sit standing in the middle of this entire show is Stanley.
Stanley Tweedle.
Yeah,
Stanley
Tweedle.
Tweedle. Like, why is his name? Everyone should be commenting on the unusual name he has, because he's the only one without a normal name in context.
All right. Nemo and Duran. Is there interaction?
Hello, Nemo.
Hi.
Your captain probably doesn't want you to tell me anything about your personal information or any other of the crew, is what I'm gathering.
Why would you like to know that stuff?
I don't. Just reminding you
Well-
not to.
Okay.
I like
well,
to carry normal conversation with people as to give an aura that I'm a normal human being having a good time.
I
But you
appreciate
have
that.
you have to be very careful with your words and not actually tell information that you wouldn't want to tell.
Are you on any kind of medication?
I might be. You know what? I don't know if it has worn off yet, but I doubt it's still on me. I ran out of money, so I wasn't able to purchase the good drugs.
How do you intend on paying us then?
Oh, I already did. That's what I paid you with. My remaining money.
Well, that was fortunate. Hopefully you'll make back your investment. You've been in this racket a long time?
In Cragnasis, my whole life. Almost all of it. Sorry, kind of gyrus.
But at least I won't say that I'm a professional at this, but it's my understanding that it's usually not that healthy to ask too many questions in this line of work. But, well, maybe you haven't had any unfortunate experiences yet.
Not yet.
Well,
Let's keep it that way.
hopefully. Which is probably, for your sake, why the captain would prefer would prefer you not poke too much into her business. She's a very private woman.
Yes, of course.
But I assume you already knew that, since you came looking for her for this job.
I actually didn't know much to the particulars of the ship. No.
Oh, so you just you just picked our ship at random?
There were only 2 ships in the station, and one of them had left.
Well, in that case, I guess you were lucky.
Aren't we all?
Is that how you usually do business? Approach random ships and hope that they're amenable to this kind of thing?
I can usually tell by the people in them if they'd be willing to do a job like this.
You're a keen judge of character.
At least I'd like to think I am.
That must come in handy.
It'll come in handy in Canagyrus.
The whole tell a man's nature by the by the strength of his grip and the look in his eyes.
Sometimes they're deceptive, though. You don't know
Well.
what they're hiding underneath their robes.
Well, that's the galaxy for you.
I guess Canagyrus and the galaxy aren't very different after all. If that's the case.
Well, can't say I've ever been there.
It's a lovely planet. Got lots of ivy.
My impression was more, from what I've heard, was more
Artifacts by
that,
war.
that it's a war-torn hellscape.
Yes. Well, there's parts that are war-torn, and then you have the residential districts. They're somewhat destroyed, other parts not so much. In between, lots of ivy, lots of opportunity.
So I heard some rumors a few times that a lot of that some of the war done there is over some sort of religious thing over that other planet, Ecos, and the people living there.
Would you like a history lesson?
Sure.
All right. Well, there's several different factions within Canagyrus. You have the Ascendants, the Reverents, the Revitalists, the Firsters, and the Separatists. The Ascendants believe that the inhabitants of Echoes are gods, and they build ships to send Ascendants to live among them.
I'm gonna pause you right here, Mariano, because I would actually like you to put these in Duran's words.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And I'll
Long story short,
I'll
you've got the
throw out
guys who are all
that,
crazy about gods, and then you have a whole bunch of the original ones.
Yeah.
The original ones there that are trying to get control of all of these crazy, fanatical, god-chasing zealots, and
But they actually believe that the people living on Ecos are gods.
there's no such thing as gods. Maybe they have more advanced technology, but between the Firsters and the Separatists, there's no gods.
We have more advanced technology.
But that doesn't make you a god. That just makes you in control of very powerful weapons and technology.
So why do they think that the people on Ecos are gods?
The Ascendants and the Reverents and the Revitalists are the ones who thinks they're gods, but it's just tricky, murky, long history of, leaders saying things, people wanting to believe things, believing things.
I mean, has there been some sort of contact between Ecos and Canagyrus in the past that make them think that someone from a more advanced civilization play a stupid prank on them, sent from the heavens, use their ships to make circles in the crops, build a pyramid?
Would I know of any of that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Would Duran know of any Echoes, like weird alien things going on?
Nemo asked if the
Or
reason
weird
why
god
Nemo asked if the
that
reason
would-
why people on Canagyrus believe that Ecos is inhabited by gods is due to the fact were they visited by Ecos in the past, that they make crop circles or build pyramids or...
One moment. And Colleen? Nope.
Barbarians.
Denied.
What's been denied?
Fine, sucks up on that. Right of each. Still has some pale days left.
Duran doesn't know of any proof or evidence of these beliefs. The architecture and structures on Kanagiris lend to some of the religious beliefs, but that's the same as saying that Christianity has certain Christianity has placed a mark on certain cultures as architecture.
To my understanding, from a logical perspective, there's no reason to believe that whatever is out in Echoes are gods. Yet,
It's just
it's
seems like a weird thing.
constant space battles are happening over control of it. The only ones who do not send ships out there to obliterate the skies with are the separatists.
Right. And which one of them are you working with again?
Technically, I'm not working with any of them.
So that means that they're all going to try to shoot at us.
Depends if we take a side.
Yes, but if we're not on anyone's side, then by default, everyone would probably assume that we're with the others.
Well, most of my connections are with the Firsters, but I don't consider myself to be in any particular side, if that's what you're asking. I would prefer not to come back after this job ever again to that planet. I am so tired
Of being shot at?
of being shot at, stabbed, and things.
Yeah, you get used to it.
But that would mean that the Firsters are the least likely to try and shoot us.
Correct. I would believe so, yes.
Right. So are we setting down in territory held by them?
Are there any space docks
Not
that are like not
really.
constantly in fights?
Yeah, obviously the most contested areas are places where that are built specifically for ships to land. There are some in a few of those cities that Duran was describing, where there's more actual city and infrastructure, and actual automated defenses. Places that have been fortified enough that the only war waged is guerrilla and cold.
So where would be a good place for us to land?
I was going to
Duran
tell you
know
that with Duran's contacts, yeah, he should be able to get in touch with somebody who directs him to a safe place to land, because otherwise Nemo's assumptions and the little bits of news that he has are correct. Most ships entering Kanagiris would be fired upon by one faction or another, unless
Okay.
they find a good place to land where they're not harassed, which is also a chance, an option, or they get some kind of covering clearance.
So if I were to try and get covering clearance, would I roll for connect and use like a communication device of some sort?
I actually would let you use Connect to try and reach out to once this ship gets in orbit around Kanagiris. Yeah, we'll let you roll Connect to try and reach someone that will be the most helpful to your efforts.
Okay. Nemo, once we get within orbit, I'll get into contact and I'll let you know where there's a good place to land.
Well, that's probably helpful to know.
Also, the fact that this large ship, can land its entire bulk is probably a huge benefit. shuttles, taking a shuttle down to Kanagiris or up from Kanagiris is very dangerous even with clearance because they're pretty fragile and vulnerable to sudden blitz attacks.
Okay.
Just background information that.
We may be more visible, but we've also visibly got the armor.
And weapons.
And weapons.
Seemingly.
Yeah, as I said, you guys could have one of those guns up and running in, I think, what you've got left, 100,000? So, 4 days.
Could we have been doing that during the maintenance?
Not during the maintenance.
Okay.
Nemo, do
But
you know
in the-
when... Sorry, go ahead.
But in the 4 days that it takes us to get to Kanagiris, that's possible, right? Or do we need to be in a dock?
Do we have the workshop thingy on the ship?
Yeah, the ship does have a workshop.
I forget if you said we could make the final repairs in transit or not.
Well, I said you can't do it in an metaspace. You couldn't even work on the gun at all in metaspace.
Right.
And I can't remember if I restricted working. I don't think so. I've been letting Matt work on the gun during any transit except for metaspace. So yeah, you could work on that in transit to Kanagiris.
Okay. Can we do that while we're being stealthy?
I'll allow it, but will require a check from Peoples. There's a risk involved with it.
Okay. It adds risk to being seen.
Yes.
Colleen, that's your department, right?
I'll answer for Colleen. Yes. It will also require a check from the people doing the maintenance or doing the repairs.
Stupid headset. Sorry.
That's good.
Must have muted me at some point.
Yeah, it'll be Colleen and the people who are working on the repairs.
So, dude.
Yeah.
I would like to not have us defenseless.
What are you talking about?
You mean you want that gun finally up and running?
Yes.
Before we go to the war zone?
Before we go to the war zone.
What would you possibly need a gun for?
Defense?
Oh, well, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that
there
makes sense.
Times when there are things you just don't like.
Is the armor for offense then? Okay.
Even you can shoot someone defensively.
Best defense is a good offense.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I should be charging you maintenance on your shuttle. And then you could do your own maintenance in your workshop. I don't believe that the workshop is intended to specifically allow maintenance on the ship that the workshop is installed on. But on smaller ships that are in the workshopped ship.
So we probably can't build a grav tank in our workshop, but we can maintain a shuttle.
No, I think you could build a grav tank, can't you? And build vehicles is capital class. No, you cannot. You're right. No, you couldn't build shuttles either, but you could maintain them. Yes.
Okay. I'm okay with whatever ruling you make.
Yeah, that's just kind of how I read
my
it.
character doesn't make machines or anything.
Yeah, and it's kind of not too relevant since I've already decided that the maintenance itself, like the ship maintenance, it just has to be done at a space station, and it's always going to take a week for however much maintenance you guys get done. As you can probably tell, Mariano, I do a few house rules here and there.
Okay.
He does a few house rules here and there.
Yes. I've never run a role-playing system that I didn't modify to, well, more than small extent.
You never met an RP system that you didn't think could be improved.
Or not necessarily improved, but improved for my personal style. Modified, catered to my style.
Tinkered with.
Yeah. So, yes, thanks for that reference. But I'm not going to charge you guys maintenance on the shuttle. I'm just... your ship is enough. That's... keep it to numbers.
That's enough of a drain on our resources.
We just include it in the ship's maintenance.
Yeah, we'll just do that. It's so inconsequential.
I mean, in fairness, you charge us for the parts when we repair the damn thing.
Yes. And I am actually counting that as maintenance towards the ship, though. So when you put that last 100,000 into the small cannon you've got, that'll take 100,000 off the maintenance. I figure that's fair enough, and offsets some of the initial costs that I put on you as players to begin with.
Because holy crap, we have a lot of repairs to make.
But yeah, absolutely. If Cap is finally ready to for that to be done, dude would move to the cannon repairs once we are out of dry dock.
Okay. Alright, let's move this along. I assume that Duran is shown to a room at some point?
Yep.
Is he given a room, or is he put with the general crew? No, not general crew, but the additional crew.
He's given a room and given very limited access to... Basically, he can go to the kitchens and to his room without an escort.
Okay.
Sounds fair to me.
If he wants to go to the cargo bay or anything like that, he has to have a crew member escort him, preferably
Eileen.
Eileen.
Okay. Alrighty. You guys leave Gorman 1760. Start making your way out to Canagiris with emissions damper, I understand, yes?
Yep.
Alright. With your pilot adding his NPC benefit of Starfarer. That is his NPC benefit now. Drivers too. It normally takes 24 hours to transition to a different region for you. And with the emissions damper, it is going to be 48 until I get those other stealth rules in play. Which, by the way, since I'll be spending an hour on the train going to and from work, I actually should be able to get a few more of these things done that I haven't been able to before. Be able to make more progress on things. Already made decent progress just on the train when I went fingerprinting. I was like, kind of surprised I could just sit on my phone, open up the document, and tap away.
Oh, you're about to start.
Yeah.
Fingerprinting is usually like one of the last steps.
Oh yeah, no, I've been hired, and my first day is tomorrow. So.
Why are they fingerprinting you?
Government job.
Government job,
and I
yeah.
do work with very secure systems.
They fingerprinted me, and all I do is fix computers in schools.
So they're definitely going to fingerprint me because I can access DMV records.
Yeah.
Oh right, yes, you don't have you don't have actual databases, central databases with people's information and.
Oh yeah, no, everybody's got their own little fiefdom
Sorry,
databases.
Hey?
I
Of
think
course, now I'm
said
assuming Mike.
I think he said something about phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm assuming, Mike, you didn't have to do what I did, which is prove that you've gotten tuberculosis shot recently, or that you don't have tuberculosis.
No, I did not. Although that I haven't started yet, so there may be more stuff to follow.
I'm gonna say, how do we know he doesn't have tuberculosis?
We don't. I don't even know what vaccinations I have and haven't gotten lately, to be honest. And I probably should take care of that so that I'm not being a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Are you trying to trim the course? Trimming the course brings your drive up to a drive 3, making the entire trip 32 hours.
No.
Okay.
Since we're charging by day.
No, this way you're kind of giving him the benefit of an extra day here.
We are, but we're using that time for ourselves, so.
Yeah.
Fixing your ship gun.
Yep.
Okay, but Duran doesn't know that because he's in a little tiny room.
It's not tiny.
It is.
It is to him.
He's lived a privileged life, even on Canagiris. By the way, even though I'm calling it Canagiris, Mariano is also pronouncing it correctly from a certain point of view.
I was gonna say, there's a difference what other people pronounce it and what the natives pronounce it.
There's different accents, and you have the upper class and the lower class.
Uh-huh.
And a gyrus is the proper way to call it.
Well, most of us are American, and we've never cared what the natives call a place.
Oh, damn it,
Now,
Matt.
the next question is, do they
Okay,
have a flag down
you're
there?
not invited to the court ball, I guess.
Oh, what was that, Nick?
They don't have a flag. Free real estate.
Yep.
You guys can make those repairs en route, and let's go ahead and get a program int check from Colleen to see how well she can shunt the various emissions into places that aren't as easily visible. And fix int roll from Dude to see how well he can time what he needs to do with when Colleen says it's safe to do the noisier work. Okay. You're both good. I'd say golden, but nobody's actually using golden color. And
That would just be gosh.
the repairs are made. I will update the ship status if you guys will, Matt, if you'll mark off the 100,000 used to finish the cannon.
We have some crates in the cargo hold for target practice to see how the gun works.
We are not firing off the gun right now.
That would invalidate the
Emissions
stealth
dampers.
rolls you've made. Yes.
So 100,000 in our 2 pre-tech.
I know.
Well, we still have 2 pre-tech for data processing, right?
Maybe.
We'd better.
Now, is this using both of the for directing and modifying energy, or do I have to use the one universal?
You can use both for directing and modifying energy.
All right, I'll leave the universal alone for now.
Alright.
Sorry about that.
I think Colleen would understand that if she started using the pre-tech without Cap's knowledge, there would be problems.
Note that I did remember to mute myself this time,
Thank you.
instead of just talking in Danish.
At least you weren't talking about Danishes.
I'm
I
hungry.
could,
don't know
I could have,
that.
Thanks, guys.
I could have been, for all you know.
Now, very obviously, that's not what it's called there, right?
No, it's not. It's called bread from Vienna.
So, Danish in Denmark is some other country.
In all fairness, the Danish are more spot on that one. So
So what do they call it in Vienna?
Pastry.
People.
Uh-huh.
They call it people in Vienna.
There you go.
Yes.
What do you call someone who's female and from Hamburg in Spanish?
I don't know. Do I want to know?
Hamburguesa.
Oh, jeez.
okay, now this is hilarious. In Vienna, they call it Copenhagener Plunder. Basically, basically from Denmark.
Which is basically a Danish.
For fuck's sake.
Right,
It has
right,
no
right,
actual name, it's just thing from some other place.
Yes, Wienerbrød in Danish, literally bread from Vienna.
Yep.
No one wants to take
Oh.
responsibility
Yeah, in
for
this
it.
case,
Where'd that
it's
come from?
basically-
Somewhere
But
else.
they're delicious.
Pastry from Copenhagen is what the people in Vienna would say. Yeah.
Okay then. I can't edit the ship's status, right?
No, I just did that,
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Alright.
I don't think
I
you
was
can
going
edit.
to
I don't
mark
want
that,
you guys
but-
being able to edit. Right. You
I
can't get
kind of figured. I was just making sure.
I'm just making sure Nick doesn't sneak in there to change the status of the cannons without you knowing.
No, I usually see Mike is the one person that usually gets told about my sneaky stuff.
Mike is the one person
Usually-
that needs to always be told about the
Mhm.
sneaky stuff.
He is the DM.
Nick,
Yes, you get told about it when it happens.
I want an affirmative response.
I tell you when I do things. My plots are my own.
Well, yeah.
Just like the last time, I sent you my entire plotting photos after,
Well,
just
what-
for your own amusement.
One of the reasons is that as a DM, I can actually give you information that assists you in that plotting. I'm not going to work against you, except when I need to because of the stuff, and it gives me extra time to know what's coming and prepare properly for it.
Well, I tell you all the relevant stuff.
Eh. I will trust your judgment on
Technically,
that.
everything is relevant, but I don't
Yeah.
trust you the way the mic does.
I'm not sure he really wants a 243 lines long text file.
That's
Stands
it?
right now.
I'm disappointed.
Those are untrimmed.
I'm gonna say he's probably also has more text for my game plots as well.
Well, currently for the new one I have like a line, but that's because I was mostly on my laptop. I assure you the one for Curse of Strahd was longer.
Uh-huh. So we have a cannon.
You have a cannon.
Finally.
We have a cannon.
It's canon.
Yeah, it's canon now.
Oh God,
Canon mix.
you people suck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Don't be here all week.
We'll
If
see
you're
yourselves
certain.
out.
Alright, let me pull out my notes on exactly what this cannon does so that you guys have an idea what it does.
Who do we keep at the firing station?
Canonically.
Right now, that is Mylene. Oh, at the firing station. That's... Yeah, that's something you guys may want to decide, because otherwise, it can use the gunner's stats. Or the gunnery station's stats. Or you can actually sit somebody there. Eileen has a decent attack bonus.
Mike, please tell me if we ever do get the main hyper metaspace cannon up and running, that it has a tiny little platform where someone has to stand when the main gun is charging up for no reason.
I feel there should be two black-helmeted people who kind of duck away when the beam forms.
Yes, just standing on a tiny little platform above the above the generator, charging it for absolutely no reason.
It does not, and by its design, it looks like it is a forward-firing cannon only. The phased charge cannons are more turret.
Worst assignment in the entire empire.
Probably.
Okay.
Wait, only forward facing?
On the big cannon.
That sounds like it'd be good for objects that don't move.
It is.
Like
This
planets,
this
which
ship
actually
is
move a
also
lot, but
this
Well.
ship is also incredibly maneuverable.
Oh.
It actually has additional features that make it better at maneuvering in space than a lot of fighter class hulls. If I remember right, its speed. Its speed is slightly lower than the fighter class hull. Okay.
But again, no. You don't need to be that. You don't need to be that maneuverable to outmaneuver a planet.
No, you do not. There was, attack bonus? No longer broken. Well, attack bonus kind of depends on the person sitting there, so I'll just leave that blank. So, the cannon itself is still alien enough that even having fully repaired it and being able to see what it's doing, comparing that to its schematics so you know that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, and all of that, there still seem to be things that you don't know about it. But what you can tell is that in mechanical terms, the way this cannon actually functions and the way it phases its charge, regardless of the target's armor, it is always going to do something.
That is interesting.
And by something, I mean points of damage.
Okay. That's very interesting.
We have an interesting ship.
Yes, we do.
You guys,
But it's still not the Lex, sadly.
I don't
I'm
know if
glad-
that's
I'm glad
a
it's not,
sad thing.
No, I don't think it's a sad thing at all. I did not like that show.
Don't know why. Great.
Because it's stupid.
Emma,
It
it
was-
wasn't a show to
It was
like.
glorious.
It was a show to enjoy.
It was glorious in its insanity.
I didn't enjoy it.
Especially the musical episode.
That one was great.
Yes, it was.
I don't think we've gotten that far.
You haven't?
Oh, I actually
Brig-
have some
Brigadoon.
waiting with the soundtrack.
Huh.
You'll know it when you get to it.
Anyway,
I
back
am-
to our game.
Time for the musical episode.
Nobody wants to hear any of you sing. Any of us. Any of us.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. You have a great singing voice.
I was gonna say.
I do not.
Yes, you do. Better than us.
I'm contemplating if Duran would call Tom and ask him to, like, clean his apartment. Just be the janitor.
How well does Duran think that would go?
He thinks it would go swimmingly, but he doesn't do it.
That's an interesting soundtrack.
Yeah.
People are singing already.
Nobody greets you guys as you enter Kanagira's space. That's either because you haven't been detected or because nobody is greeting you.
I call Cap and I just say, let me know when you would like me to communicate with my contacts in Kanagirus.
Well, presumably before we sit down, because I don't fancy getting fired on.
Yes, I agree with that.
We'll provide you with a comm channel that you can do that from. Colleen?
Sure.
Colleen does so.
Okay, so I... Sorry, what was Colleen gonna say something?
you have been provided with a comm channel.
Thank you. Duran would start checking different channels of contacts that he would know of, either through directly from his family or people that his family have worked with, or people that are, trustworthy for these kind of things.
Okay. Due to the nature of the conflicts on this planet, those comm channels tend to be tied closer to locations than people. It's difficult enough avoiding war and the destruction of war by itself, but trying to carry along with you enough equipment to have a stable comm channel accessible out to space is even more. So Duran is able to kind of flip through the channels that he knows the location of. Obviously, major cities will those major fortified cities I described will still be accessible, but those aren't necessarily always the place that he wants to start with. Let's go ahead and get a connect slash. Which ability score do you want to use? And this will be the first time you're truly rolling with me as a GM, so I'll tell you the reason that I ask instead of just telling you is you can use your best ability score as long as it makes sense. Obviously, you couldn't use strength on this, but you'll get different results based on different abilities. You may sometimes want to use a lower ability because it's a more logical or just a better fit for what you're trying to do. So, for example, Charisma might be your best ability score here, but it might make more sense to do Wisdom. I'm not saying that's the case here. Just you describe how you want to use Connect and tell me which ability score that's being tied to.
I'll use... Would it make sense to use intelligence to try and know which place would be the less likely to be hostile?
You can try and use that if you can justify it like that. I'll help you out a little bit here too, because intelligence could possibly also be justified with having known how long has passed since the last time he knew of things, events and situations on the ground. He can kind of try and guess, not guess, predict what may have transpired since he left.
Okay,
which
I think that's
strategic
better than
movements.
using charisma, because I could end up calling the wrong person and then be trying to be very charismatic, which might be more difficult than just trying to connect the right person first, and then... Alright.
Yeah, go for it.
Just don't blast our comm equipment if it turns out to be a boring conversation.
I make my assertions and estimations, and I dial the numbers.
What is that even from, Mel? That seems familiar.
Star Wars. A New Hope.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, don't ask him Star Wars questions. He gets those wrong consistently.
I know Star Wars answers sometimes.
Sure.
When Han Solo completely fails a bluff roll. And then blasts the comlink.
It's just the moons. Nobody cares about the moons and the planets in Star Wars.
Hopefully I don't fail
anyway.
with that roll. Do I contact anyone?
Yeah. You reach out to a couple of your old buddies. You have to work your way through, but you end up talking with somebody who seems more or less sympathetic to hearing you out. You can use that connect roll to just kind of get through the conversation, or we can talk it out if you want.
Right. So from this trusty connection that I have, I explain the situation. Hey, look, I need to get down. I need to do like some business. Do you know who's in the market for this, and that? How are things going?
He does want to know what kind of business you're referring to.
How's your mother? How's your cousin?
No, he says that you know that you're not too welcome back here after what you guys did.
Well,
some nerd showing your
technically,
face.
that wasn't me. Those were other people. I just happened to come out of one of their wombs. Second of all, this is completely okay. It's not. I'm not selling guns or anything. Just regular, non-military gear and equipment.
Still doesn't tell me what it is, Duran.
Sorry, what?
It still doesn't tell me what it is, Duran.
It-
You're asking me to
Hydroponics
trust you.
components.
Oh, well, wait, what?
I know it sounds ironic. But
You fool of a boy. You glorious fool of a boy.
hey,
You get your
tell me I'm a genius, right? It's gonna
down
sell
here.
like hot pockets.
Uh,
I knew there was a twist. Kind of a barbed twist, if you ask, right? You selling?
I know.
All right. I'll reach
Hey,
out
you
and
might
find
get some money out of
find
this
some
too.
buyers.
I'll make sure to put a good in word for you if they ever ask if you're a good person to work with.
Can I reach you back on this channel?
Let me check with my comms, or she might want to connect through another encrypted channel. You never know. I checked with Colleen and I asked her, like, is this a safe channel to contact later?
Sure.
Yes, I've gotten confirmation this is a safe channel. If it changes otherwise, I'll let you know.
All right. I'll find you a window to bring your you glorious bastard. I'll find you a window.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear.
didn't sound like he was too happy to see you.
Do you know when that window will be?
We've got intel on some movements to the north. As soon as I can report back.
All right, I'll be waiting.
Excuse me. Alrighty.
I guess I wait until I hear back. And
Okay.
tell the captain that we should probably stay hidden.
And I think I may have missed. Was that an open communication?
Would Colleen have given him an unencrypted channel?
I thought
Well,
that
no.
the
I
channel
mean,
was
the
secure.
communication between Planet and ship is secure. That part's fine. I mean, was that an open communication within the ship? Was it
I was assuming that they were like listening in on the conversation.
okay?
Yeah, Nemo certainly was.
Can always assume Colleen is listening.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when Cap tells her to.
Actually, it's more like especially when Cap tells her not to.
Hence the comment. Hence the remark question by Nemo that he didn't seem too happy to didn't seem to be too happy to see you.
Yeah, I wasn't. I had no question that Nemo was listening in, or Colleen. I guess my question is more like, was this the kind of interaction that occurs on the stereotypical bridge with the view screen and everyone around the bridge, either in camera or off camera, watching the whole thing?
Unless he specifically asked for it not to be yes.
Okay.
I kind of assumed it, but yeah.
Okay.
It would look a little bit too suspicious if I asked, "Oh, can I have a secure channel that you guys don't listen to before you go on this mission?"
Oh yeah, it would.
Funny enough, the response would have been the same. Sure.
And that's
Yeah.
still not what he would have gotten. Alright, so at this point, I think we're doing scans. So let's go ahead and bring up the scans. Where'd I put that? Sensors and scans.
Better than lions and tigers.
And bears, oh my.
Oh, beat me to it.
I like
Didn't
the related
need
part
to.
on that handout.
Didn't need to, but you did, anyways. Alright.
If you're on the section, it's probably too late to refer to hiding and detection.
No, I'm already on the sensors and scans handout is what I'm using.
Yes, look at the very bottom what you put there.
Uh-huh.
That's what I was referencing.
Right.
I was amused by it.
Oh. Yes. Alright, so you can get atmosphere, geology, advanced energy using surface communities, other ships in orbit, surface features designed to attract orbital interest without any kind of roll. You're just scanning the planet.
Presumably active war zones would count in that category as well.
Designed to attract orbital interest? They're not designed to attract orbital interest. They're just
Yeah, that's
doing
an interesting distinction there.
it.
And the
By
orbital
default,
defense
they
are
would
usually
kinda do.
designed to discourage it.
Depends on what kind of weapons they're using.
Yeah, true. If they're fighting each other with stone axes and bows, then no. But if we're talking about
Guns.
high energy weapons, then
Well, it may be bullets.
The atmosphere
So they
is
are
breathable.
star fairies.
Geology is what you're seeing is there are bands of jungle separated by vast swaths of rolling hills, and the energy using surface communities look like they range from the smallest that your scans can really pick up, at least on passive mode, which I assume you're still using.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you can see kind of huddled urban centers, look like small communities, just scattered throughout. Yeah, you can see that. There are also a couple of larger communities or urban areas which have much clearer defenses surrounding them, actual defensive installations. And I think I said that there are no other ships in orbit already. Surface.
You didn't, but we believe you.
Okay, there are no other ships in orbit.
So this is not where the Swift went. That's good.
For anything more than that, you will need to roll, and if you're keeping to the passive scanners, passive sensors, you'll be rolling that with a -2.
This time it's going to active.
Okay. Once you go to
Let's get
active,
another ship.
your sensors are advanced and sufficient enough that those huddled urban centers that you see are they're huddled in the sense of they're congealed among sprawling urban ruins throughout the hills.
Yeah, she's gonna look for the sides that can either anti-orbital or anti-air that would actually pose a threat to the ship.
Okay. Well, what I'm trying to say with the communities there is that most of them are small sections of a city that are being kept alight amongst vaster urban destruction.
Well, yeah, we know they're a little factionist.
Okay. What is the first question that you guys want to ask of the scans?
Any anti-orbit or anti-air
Yeah.
capability that could threaten the ship?
Yes.
And where are they and what's their range?
Are there any weapon systems capable of threatening us?
Well, the ship. I'm sure they have plenty that will threaten us.
Yes, us
That is-
as in the ship. Yes.
That is not one of the questions.
Yes, it is.
For planetary bodies?
Oh, on there.
Yes.
Oh,
Treated as a
we have to
modified
guess
of
the question first.
industrial hubs.
I'm sorry, what was that, Mel?
I said we have to guess the questions first.
No, you can see the questions.
I know they're on the list.
I have given you the questions. Well, let's see. So, let's go with that being, are there any hidden or low-tech communities? That would be a hidden community of guns. How's that?
Yes. Orbital defense battery. Or anti-air.
Community of guns. Sentient guns. They talk to each other. They have a society. They don't want the humans to know they exist because they don't
In all
like.
fairness,
they don't
a
like
good
hugs
anti-air system, the weapons will talk to each other.
Yeah, they kind of do. Go ahead and roll your int program. As a bomb drops somewhere. That was perfect. Colleen is able to find a couple of find and mark on your planetary map that you're building a couple of areas, locations where hidden or energy signatures that have been cleverly masked in some way are existing. Some of those are in those huddled urban centers. Others are surrounding some of those larger cities that have remained more intact. So yes, there are.
Can you determine how capable those things are on taking us down?
I actually do have to flip to that section. Got a page number for me, Nick?
No.
What? How do you not have
You
a page?
realize because I'm operating on a laptop with one very
I don't want to hear
small
your
screen.
excuses. See.
What's going on?
I'm just giving Nick shit.
No, but like I've got my page opened up at Starship Weaponry. That's If that helps.
No, I'm looking for. I thought there was a chart of.
Ground defenses.
Yeah, but I'm on the page, and there isn't a chart. It really isn't.
I think it's just like 2d10 something.
Yep. That is literally all it is. It's avoiding them as a pilot skill check at a GM chosen difficulty. So that would be the number that you're looking for. Is what is the difficulty? And failing that pilot check results in 2d10 damage with armor piercing 20.
Oof. Well, I mean, are they actively targeting us, or are they shooting at shit already?
No, they're simply active.
They are a potential threat.
Yes. Nick, Colleen can pinpoint which of them seem like more of a threat, and those will be the banks of weapons that are more well coordinated, that do talk to each other or are close enough to talk to each other, as opposed to a couple of sites that are just literally, if there's a shuttle coming by, then a missile's going to fire at it or something like that. So the difficulties will be just between 8 and 10, maybe higher if for major cities, possibly even lower. But Colleen gets she can put the numbers or the risk numbers on a map.
Yeah, she would relay that to the captain and Clark, of course.
Okay. All right. Were there any other questions you want to ask?
Any zones where there's a current military engagement happening? Anything larger scale? Kind of wacky energy discharges? The surface suddenly looking different?
Man, these questions are really limited when you look at them.
Yes.
I'm not sure why the author set it up this way, but he did make it a pretty definite thing in the book that when you're doing scans, you ask from these questions. Obviously, I think. Actually, no.
I think he just suggests what you would
No,
typically
if I remember right, he
ask
even
for.
goes in to say that if a different question is asked, then make it one of these questions, basically. Vaguely remember that.
I mean, that makes sense. See, here's the things that definitively can be found out. You can adjust what they find out based on what they ask versus this thing.
Yeah.
That feels like make the DM's life a little easier.
That might be the intent. Yeah. All right. Active engagements, yeah, they're actually pretty easy to see. You can kind of track, well, not track bullets, but you can see where there are some active and stalemated engagements on the planet, including a couple where there are the fighter hull class fighters that are in an airfield protected by defenses, and infantry. Most of those kinds of battlefields are either moving towards a urban center, or besieging it? Yes.
Well, we should check with Cap to see if there's anything Cap wants to know that she might be able to find out.
I think that mostly covers it.
Are there any nuclear explosions going off down there?
You don't see any. None have happened while you've been scanning, but you could certainly check for traces of it.
Yeah, any residuals?
That-
Or any abnormally large craters?
Yeah, it's just good to know. I think if we're dealing with a war on that kind of scale,
Mm-hmm.
Well, in all fairness, nuke sniffers are frickin' common as well.
Right, they really are.
But yeah, Colleen will check for that too.
I didn't make you roll for the battlefields, but they were battlefields. Go ahead and roll and see if she can piece out any kind of residuals of nuclear war from the scans.
Nope.
I believe she's already used her class ability.
Yep.
I thought you were noping the result, not just answering for
No, that
yourself.
was his general. Nope.
Nope.
Nobody
Yeah.
has let her play with nukes yet.
Maybe they're using banana flavored.
well,
Not really her thing, but hey.
Or maybe just banana-powered nukes.
Ooh. They are very dense.
So easy an ape could throw it.
You just have to keep adjusting your trajectory every couple of turns.
No, even better. Put the ape in a catapult so that you can get a better throw on the banana.
So now we are just playing Angry Birds.
Any other
Are we
questions?
talking about banana ballistics?
We are talking about banana ballistics.
It's the slip factor is very important to take into account your calculations. You don't want to trip when
Well,
throwing the banana.
No,
And you also have to figure out peeled or unpeeled.
Yeah.
no, it has to be peeled because it's the peel that becomes the shrapnel. Or not? Sorry, it has to be unpeeled.
Uh-huh. Oh, who'd we lose?
Did we lose someone?
no, that was me. I
Yeah.
lost sound,
Oh, gotcha.
so I disconnected and reconnected. I lost all sound right after the banana-powered nukes.
It's okay. You didn't really miss much.
I was gonna say you didn't miss much.
You really missed nothing.
Are there any other questions that you would like asked of the scans?
No.
Actually, they really can't. Pretty sure the fail means cooldown.
It certainly does. Will yield no more information. And that is apes on a building throwing a banana.
Yep, but if they miss it, destroys buildings. Very fun old game.
Yeah.
Very old school.
I used to play that, but it was new school.
For reference, Mariano, if I'm looking for something, just give me a page number. I've always got the PDF open, so I can just get to that
Oh,
quickly.
But Scorched Earth was much better.
Death tank.
Alright, so you've got a little bit of information about what you're going down to, and right now you're waiting on Duran's contact to reach back out to you and give you a landing window. Do you guys use the time for anything?
Yeah, we're overlaying that with what we have on the planet to see if he's steering us right into an active battle zone or the defense system.
Okay. That'll be once he comes back to you with a landing window. He may be having
Oh.
you land in different
like he
places.
did.
So why are you a magnificent bastard?
Oh, don't I look just magnificent? And I smile very wide.
No, you're not exactly physically imposing.
No, I thought you were gonna
And you act
comment
like a
on my
bastard.
beautiful face.
I've seen better.
I doubt it.
And anyway, there's a lot more to beauty than just looks. If you're an asshole and you're attractive, you're still an asshole, and that makes you unattractive.
Well, unfortunately, I can't ask you any personal questions, so I guess I'll never know what you're into. We'll have to wait a little until we hear back on a good time window to go back in. I don't think it'd be very wise to just fly in unless you want to start dodging gunfire that might come our way.
No, we were going to wait. That's part of the
You're-
deal.
You're not paying us enough to risk. You're not paying us enough to risk that.
Yeah.
I don't trust. Sorry. Never mind.
You did a pretty good job there, kid, of sidestepping the question of why they think you're crazy for bringing hydroponics down here.
Recently, a few hydroponic farms were destroyed, and the amount of profit it baffles them. That's why they were kind of jealous of me.
Mm-hmm.
It's good camaraderie between us, I guess.
So
Alright.
there'd be a lot of there'd be a lot of demand for it.
Oh yes, that's why I came here to sell it, because it'll be at a high price, and because I have good contacts that I know I can trust to help me sell them to the.
And how sure are you that they'll actually pay you, and not just try to take them at gunpoint?
I am
that kind of thing
100%
is
sure.
because that kind of thing is distressingly frequent. This line of work.
The people that I work with are extremely loyal. I wouldn't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's not really. Well, you not thinking about it is not so much as as a problem if they're thinking about it.
No, they'd help me. I'm not too concerned about it.
And last time we didn't think about it. Someone did. Someone did try to do it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's not that much an issue that you're not concerned about.
I mean,
More like an issue we're concerned
we
about
should
it.
still take precautions against, other hostile entities trying to stop this from happening, as it is a war zone. But I don't think that the contacts I'm in contact with are going to try and backstab me, if that's what you're asking.
Well, more actually, I'm really more concerned about them trying to backstab us, as in us, not you.
No, they wouldn't. They might ask you to help them. They have their own agendas, and they're always in need of capable people. With being in a war zone and all.
And of capable warships.
Yes, so they might ask if they could help you with their war with your ship, but they wouldn't attack your ship.
Are you
That'd be counterproductive.
Are you familiar with the term press ganged?
No.
See, that's when you recruit. That's when you recruit people for warfare without asking their consent first.
No, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't force you to do something without their consent.
They
Without your
feel
consent.
that
without everyone's consent.
They wouldn't feel that their aim is glorious and that their war is just and the end justifies the means? Anything like that?
Some factions might feel that way, but I'm not. My contacts aren't through the factions. They're through people that get around by being loyal and knowing for getting the job done.
And being criminals.
No, we're just selling hydroponic components. That's not illegal in this country, in this
Are we,
world.
Why are those serial numbers filed off again?
I'm sorry, what?
Are we
Why
filing
are-
them with the proper
why are
proper import authorities? Are we paying
What
taxes?
proper
over there?
import authorities? This isn't mandate territory. Has its own jurisdiction. It doesn't care where I got the hydroponic components from.
I think the point they're trying to make is that they won't care where they got them if they have to shoot you in the face to get them.
Or possibly shoot us in the face to get them and this warship for free.
Yeah.
Then don't let them have the ship for free.
We're not going to let them have the ship at all. But
Yeah.
we will all be armed and ready when the stuff is offloaded off the ship.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
We will
the ship
arrange
is
the
at least
cargo.
on.
Yes, now we have a cannon on the ship.
I'm always armed and ready, Captain.
I know you are, Nemo, and I love you for it.
Oh, that's
She
I'll go
smiles
on.
at him.
3.
I want you all to arrange the cargo bay in a defensive way. I'll help. And
set
that
up.
way we're going to set up cover. We're going to set up
Right.
like that this is going to go down bad and hope it doesn't.
Makes perfect
But
sense.
they will
to me.
take this ship over our dead bodies. I will personally self-destruct it.
We'll pull a divinity and strategically set up crates and boxes.
Captain,
Exactly.
Is there anything that I can do to make you feel more at ease?
No,
Don't
we're
make
just
any
going to do what
sudden
we've got to
moves.
do.
And show
could,
that you know what you're doing?
Also, you could.
Well, I was thinking that you could
stay close
either-
and within sight at all times, and not make any sudden movements. That'd be
Okay.
nice.
No sudden movements.
It's just,
That's
you know,
something Captain,
like-
I saw something in the movie. If he makes any sudden movements, can Eileen shoot him? So they did in the movie.
If you do that, I
no.
prefer you shoot me not on the face and maybe like the corner of my foot, perhaps.
no, right now we have no plans to shoot you. Cap's starting to look actually angry.
We're quite the opposite. We're hoping that no one. We're very much hoping that no one gets shot,
Yeah,
including you.
kid, just relax. Let us plan this out. We'll get everyone paid. We'll get everyone through this alive. Just let us do our own thing. We got a reason to be paranoid. If we're proved wrong, hey, cool.
Maybe we can do business again.
Exactly.
Colleen spends a couple of minutes going to her quarter and putting ammo and an energy cell into Siri.
Alright.
Nemo will go to and start rearrange boxes and crates for optimal cover.
Okay. Tom joins, as do a couple of the other NPC crew to help.
Dude'll actually head to the armory and just make sure that anything that isn't already on somebody's person is at least loaded and has basic maintenance. No missed fires or anything like that, hopefully.
Okay. Alright, you guys spend some time rearranging the cargo bay, maintaining weapons and armor. And the ship gets a call just about as you're finishing up. It's from the same contact that Duran was talking to.
Well, in that case, Colleen will route it to Duran.
Okay.
I mean, we're all on the bridge together at this point, so.
Duran Captain and Company speaking.
Well, you guys aren't all on the bridge at this point because there's still people that
Okay.
are.
Yeah, but
You,
Nemo's
Cap will
guys,
be on the
you
bridge
can
with
gather. You can
Yeah.
gather back up.
Nemo
Then
will just
Colleen
patch in.
patches it to the rest of them anyway.
In fact, I'll make this easier. The NPC crew can finish up with what Nemo and Eileen, if Nemo will take Eileen's suggestions, have decided on organizing the cargo bay.
Fair enough.
And actually, Eileen can stay with them and make sure that they're getting them in the right places too. She seems to have a decent level of knowledge in organizing a cargo bay for defensive positioning. You guys meet back up on the bridge and take the call. It's the same guy, and he's in a little bit less enthusiastic and more of a hushed tone or voice than the last time. Quickly rattles off coordinates and time.
All right, we'll meet you there at that time.
Okay.
Do you have any other good news?
He says that he's gotten approval from his commander to offer a small amount for the equipment, but he recommends that you turn it down and find your own buyer.
I could probably find my own buyer, but I need a good place to hide for a week.
Yeah, you're on your own for that.
I look at the captain and I say, "Can you keep the ship hidden for a week while I find a new buyer?"
I can take it back up into orbit, yeah.
That'll work. But
We would need to get another safe space to land when you get a buyer.
I think that can be arranged. Yes.
Okay.
I would want some people to escort me though, if possible, just because the material is a bit bulky, and it is 60% yours at this point.
I can volunteer. I'll volunteer for that, Captain.
Are we
I'll take
taking
volunteers
stuff
first.
to them? I thought we were going to have them.
Come and pick it up.
Yeah, that's why we set up a kill box.
It's gonna depend. DM interjection. It's gonna depend largely on who can buy and what buyer he trusts. If he likes the price that his contact here has gotten him, then you offload and you're done. If
Tell you what, Captain, if you like the
How much-
the price they offer
they haven't made any offer yet, they haven't actually said the number yet.
during negotiations, we
number.
can sell to them, or we could sell to someone else.
Well, what's the number they're offering?
He hasn't said. Do you have a number?
He's already off the comm.
No, it looks like you have to go in a hurry. What is your number, by the way?
Well, what were you hoping to get for it?
DM, what was I hoping to get out of it?
Let me finish what I was saying real quick, and then I'll answer that question. So, if you liked his offer, you can take it, you offload, you're done. If not, then that's when you do spend some time searching around your local area trying to find people that are local and will buy it from you, or trying to reach out to other sites from your local area and find someone there. Depending on who you find, where you find, you'll that basically becomes the next step in what you guys can decide to do. So I guess what I'm saying is there is no a certainty that you'll be able to take your defensive positions. You may find a buyer who's willing to pay a goodly amount, but needs it delivered to a different site. And the last thing I was going to say is, landing here this is the window that you have to land. Without waiting for another window, it's likely that you'll take fire. Colleen has enough data that she could try and arrange her own window, or arrange a window for you, but of course that's more risky.
Honestly, I'd rather take it and go. If things go well, then maybe we can make more deal. Find out if these people need anything else and bring it.
Okay. And to now answer the question that you had, Duran, I do have a trading handout in here. This is a high value good, so it is times 1,000 on the die roll, and that's per ton. Which is why it's good that we're rounding it up to 5 tons. And Duran knows that the situation here is that this particular commodity would be scarce. So instead of just rolling 2d6 plus 1 to sell, you will actually get to roll 3d6 plus 1. So you could end up with a price anywhere from 20,000 at the absolute lowest roll to 95,000 at the highest for these 5 tons of hydroponics equipment.
Sorry, what was the lower end?
20,000.
20,000. But we don't know what they're offering us.
Right, that comes down to the 3d6 roll. Well, sorry, I already know what this guy's offering, but if you don't like that number, then it comes down to Duran or whomever reaching out and trying to find a different buyer.
Wait, so about average, I can sell it for 9 times 5 times 1,000, more or less, or
well,
8.
It's got a plus 1 on there, so your average on 3d6 is actually 10.5. Make that up to 11.5.
So on average, I'd be making about 7,500 credits for selling $50,000 worth of hydroponic components.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to end up paying 46. Oh wait, hold on. Where are my notes? 48,000 on just transportation fees. So I'm actually losing like 50,000 credits.
The best kind of deal.
This was almost a charity case for you, and Duran did not get a huge amount of this hydroponics equipment. This is something that could start you guys off on a bit of a trading adventure, or at least knowing that hydroponics equipment here is going to fetch that scarcity bonus. This could be something that you guys find hydroponics equipment somewhere else where it's common and has a surplus. You can buy it for 1d6 and sell it for 3d6 plus 1. Playing the trading game is always a chance at risk, and when you're the seller, you don't have to take that price. You can sit around and wait and try and get a better price.
So now we are playing elite.
So, okay, we'd have to, if we want this to be a profitable adventure, we pretty much have to fill up the cargo hold.
Yeah, if you can get 100 tons of hydroponic stuff, that's a big paycheck.
Mm-hmm. And our transportation costs wouldn't be substantially, if any, higher.
No. The only reason that this is not a very profitable venture for you is because you could only scrounge up 5 tons of it where you guys were at. Or where it came from. Maybe that's just because Oe wasn't a great negotiator. It's possible. You know where...
It could also be the fact that I am, in fact, this is the first time I'm doing interstellar trade.
Well,
it probably also doesn't help that the Raza is a very expensive ship to run.
It is, and this does help Duran. Duran did not make the deal for this hydroponic equipment. Remember, Oe wouldn't let anybody off the ship. She did all of that. She's supposed to be a good, shrewd business person, but she may not have gotten the best deal possible.
But in doing this, we could earn their trust.
And become hydroponic farm traders.
Or, well, not necessarily specifically hydroponics, but other...
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they'll have other requests.
This is very much sandbox, hey, here's an opportunity.
Yeah.
So what do you say, Captain? Do you want to hear out their offer?
Well, yes.
Your window is very quickly approaching. He did not give you a whole lot of time to prepare.
Yeah, we need to get down to surface.
All right. I'll be here, not making any sudden movements. And I slowly start to eat, like, my soup.
You're on the bridge. You don't have your soup with you.
Oh.
No soup on the bridge.
Captain doesn't like food on the bridge.
Colleen would offer him a snack.
For some reason, I thought I was in the kitchen, but that's okay. I'm in the bridge.
Yeah,
what's your policy on alcohol?
It all depends.
What kind of day she's having and who she's had to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, Colleen would offer a snack.
Oh boy.
Alright, let's get ready to go down.
First I want to know if Duran takes Colleen up on that offer of a snack.
I would love a snack.
Oh boy. What is she
Offer
offering?
some cookies. Cookies.
Oh, cookies, not packets of stuff?
That's private emergency ration.
No spam?
No.
No, she ran out of spam, and Cap was probably upset that the empty can was sitting around on her desk for like forever.
No.
I look at it and I
Somebody
say,
would have cleaned that up.
what is this? What's it called?
Cookies?
Cookies?
They're just cookies.
On a scale from 0 to burnt toast, how stale does it look?
Not very. Food doesn't last very long in Colleen's reach. But she keeps cookies on the bridge.
I try the cookie.
It's a good cookie.
Mmm.
Taste okay, and the artificial gravity kicks in, stabilizing you all on the ship as the ship lurches forward and prepares for atmospheric entry.
Good times.
I mean, it also should be known, since Mariana does not know about that, Colleen's station has a variety of toys, puzzles, and she has at least one little, throw blanket on her chair. That's very much in contrast to everything else on the frickin' bridge.
Yes, there's very much a Colleen corner over there.
So she's what's her face? The professor of divination from Harry Potter.
Not quite, but yeah. Mix between that and wash.
It's a little bit hairy going through the atmosphere. The ship is locked a couple of times, but those locks are do not result in any weapons fire coming your way, and they de-lock. You land in a burnt out crater from some kind of explosive attack. It's quite a large one.
Lucky us that bombs never strike twice.
I'm sure that's true. It's also clearly a more defensive position for the people that you're meeting, being that they're able to come out from surrounding buildings, or surrounding ruins, I should say, and meet you from an elevated vantage point. Doesn't seem to be something that you have to worry about. At least those tactically minded among you, would probably worry a lot less, when one of the people that comes out of those buildings just kind of starts scurrying down the side of the impact crater. Obviously, that's not something you do if you're planning on shooting.
Captain, where would Duran be allowed to be right now?
Pretty much everybody's gathering on who's not flying the ship would be gathering in the cargo hold.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Colleen would prefer to stay on the bridge, but Siri is in the cargo hold.
Okay.
That works.
And obviously not Tuvan.
Yeah, not Tuvan.
He's looking for more wrappers and various things to pick up after Colleen.
Yikes.
Damn it, that little bastard is small enough to fit into the air vents, doesn't he?
He is.
Yep.
Well, you'll find lots of wrappers in there.
He's actually even been fitted, or not fitted with, but he's had a tracking bracelet put on him by Tom. Just in case. The man scrambling down the embankment, coming towards the rear of your ship.
Cap will have the ramp lowered down, and
he slows as the ramp starts coming down, and peers in cautiously. Is Duran in view?
yes.
I make the appropriate greeting bow of respect and peace to the person in front of me.
He offers the same very, very quickly, and then throws a holler up. Duran, you idiot bastard! And he's running up the cargo ramp at you guys, jovially. It's not like gonna charge at Duran. At least it doesn't look like he's gonna draw a knife or a gun or anything when he gets up there.
Well, Cap will...
okay.
Keep a careful eye on him all the same.
Yeah, Siri is aiming. I mean, you can't tell, but Siri is aiming.
And Cap?
Cap is aiming. Well,
Okay.
she's not aiming. She's resting her hand on her weapon.
Okay. He barrels up and, unless Duran stops him, plows into him with a big hug.
I give him a hug. Have you been?
It is, it's Uncle Owen.
Hello, Uncle Owen.
Oh my god. Where's
Mike?
Aunt Peru?
I know.
I didn't know you missed me this much. Usually you send your guards out.
And the
You
blue
running
milk.
low on guards? What's going on?
They're all in the crater.
Mike, are we
Wait, did
planning on
we land
continuing
on
much
them?
longer?
I
Not too
looked
much
under
longer,
the
Mel.
ship,
Yes,
but
I know it's noon.
We haven't left the ship yet.
You've not left the ship yet. After some quick exchange of what's happened that couldn't be bantered on the radio, Uncle Owen does get down to business and says that he has been authorized and has funds for 8,000 per ton, which he knows is a short sell, and that you guys could find a better buyer from either other firsters or potentially from harmed factions. And he says that pointedly.
oh, come on. Don't give me that look. I think we might be more interested in getting a different buyer, but I have to double check with the captain of the ship. Also,
And-
while I'm at it, if you want to ask the captain for other duties you might have for I don't know, missions for a ship like this, she might be willing to hear you out.
And before Captain bites his head off, we're gonna